All right. And we are live. Welcome to the Iron Lords podcast and the Lords of Gaming.net, episode number 101. And it's another glorious Sunday. We're back at the round table on the Lord's Day. I'm very excited about our special guest. And we got Borderlands 3 rumors, Halo Infinite as a spiritual reboot, Pokemon Sword and Shield reveal, and Apex Legends versus Fortnite to discuss. So we're going to get right into it. I want to introduce a Lord, actually some Lords of podcasting who have the utmost respect for. These positive members in our gaming community have been the pillar of consistency, intellectual debate, and the personification of what it means to be a true gamer. Introducing the panel and co-founders of the 4GwQPodcast podcast, which includes one of the most knowledgeable podcast hosts in the game with the best Bostonian accent you'll ever hear, combined with everyone's favorite wisecracking gaming paisan, and finished off with the silent stream partner and COD noob killer extraordinaire, live from Beantown, Florida, and West Canada, aka Wisconsin. And for the first time, making their debut into the realm of the Lords together, my man, Lord Inferno 217, ItalianClownz, and ZPCI Assassin. 4GwQPodcast. How are you Lords doing?
Doing well. I can't believe we're making this. I can't believe we are making this happen with everybody on the panel. This like cross production going on. We had you guys on the past few months. Addict, I know, gave me a little bit of flack for not having him on, but we'll have to get him on. Yes,
I'm good.
But I'm good. Wow.
I'm good.
Now, he's like, "Yeah, I didn't ask."
Yeah, right. Exactly.
What's going on, man?
Glad to make this happen, man. Glad to make this happen on a beautiful Sunday here in Boston. So glad to make it happen. Can't wait to see you guys in what, like 3 weeks now? Not even, just about 3 weeks.
Absolutely, man. No doubt. Absolute pleasure. LordCognito, man. How you doing? Good to have you back in the realm, sir.
Pretty good. No calzones here, so a little bummed out.
Oh, you know, I hear you, bro.
Usually gets me pumped up for the podcast.
That's kind of crazy.
that calzone get you lit?
Yeah.
Crazy. No doubt. That's what's up, man. And Lord Assassin making his debut. I'm very happy Lord Assassin's made it, by the way. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. A little cold, but thanks for having me here today.
I had to throw the West Canada shot. I'm sorry. I had to. It was like Clown set it up last episode.
Yeah, it was too perfect.
I had to, man. So glad you took it in stride. So that's cool. So normally we have the 4 horsemen of gaming, but one of our lords is down. Salute Lord Sav. He's got some family things he's got to take care of, so we'll hold him down. But we still got the rest of the lords at the round table. My co-host with the co-most, my brother from another mother, the difficult game conqueror, and the howl of the young wolf. My man, Lord Addict, how you doing, sir?
Doing pretty good. Sorry about my absence last week. The power in my area is pretty weird. I don't know what's going on there, but we ain't gonna
fall out 76 over there, man.
Nah, that's the West Virginia bang bang boogie, baby.
101.
Look, all I know is I paid my power bill. I don't know what happened.
He's like, it ain't me.
Yeah,
But somebody was eating off your line. They had to cut him off.
But definitely, it's a new week. We'll have to see. I did notice one thing. I did miss my presence last week because you guys let King go a little too much last week, drinking bottles and stuff on the podcast.
King had a lot in his glass.
Yo, know what it was? Is I had to represent for you, Addict, so I had to give up all of that. You ain't feel that? It was 2 people worth. It was I was in it. I was shaking.
He was holding it down, man. But yeah, man, so everything is restored in the town. Is the town good now? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, right now I'm playing Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh, no doubt. And,
multitasking.
You gotta change his name, man. You gotta change his name, not to the difficult game conqueror, to the podcast and gamer at the same time, man. Captain Simultaneous.
You gotta love it. No doubt, man. And of course, we have the Incredible Hulk of this, aka the Excess Gamer.
Ooh.
The Lord of Combat Sports, who is a man of his convictions. The man's nothing less than that premium experience and is the leader of the Fraud Alert movement.
Ooh.
beloved Lord King. How you doing, sir?
Yo, listen, yesterday, oh man, it was so much stuff. I was going to do a combat talk yesterday, right? And I just didn't want to fraud it out because me and the UFC is just like, it's not like back in the days where I used to know who was fighting for real. Like, I really don't know these dudes. I just have my favorites and I'm going in with crazy bias. So I watched the UFC card. Cognito was really pissing me the hell off yesterday because I was working at the same time. He is tweeting out. So he's tweeting out, oh man, that's crazy. That's crazy. So I'm like, bro, what? He's like very ambiguous with what he's putting in there. It's disgusting, brother. It's disgusting. So this for you. This is for you right here with your fraudness. That was hard. Yo, I was so pissed off. I almost crashed my car. I'm like, what is he talking about? I said, did he lose? Oh no, Ben, because I'm a Ben Askren fan, right? Yeah. So I know Dana White set these two dudes up yesterday, right? So it was like he had Woodley. He set Woodley up, and one of the dudes fell. But Askren almost fell first. So
yeah, he was almost out of there. Yo, he was almost out.
He got him with the pissed off old big brother choke out like get your butt over here.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I said it was beautiful. It was beautiful. His eye was all bushed up. I was like, that's Ben right there, right? So then Woodley get in there. He had too much mixtapes. I was like, well, this is not.
He want to be in the studio too much. That's his problem. He won't be in the studio. Like, listen, I give you a quick recap on your 17. Just real quick, man. The thing with the Askren and the Lord, first of all, that was the most explosive one round. That was the most explosive one round ever. You know what I'm saying? Because he was getting tattooed up. He looked sleep when he was out on the ground. They could have stopped it on Askren getting knocked out.
He didn't look sleep to me though.
I will give him this. He was responsive though. He kept scrambling. He wasn't like completely stationary. Right. So then when he got up, and he got a hold of him. I'm gonna tell you right now, his heart, his chin, he showed me a lot as far as his heart. Yeah. Then once he got hold of him, he put that choke. Now the choke was controversial because he did sink it in. Now, for me and Fonz was talking, shout out to Jay Fonzarelli, we were talking about last night. And shout out to Meds. We also when he put the choke on him, the big brother choke, dude arm went limp for a second. So we do think was out, so I can't blame the ref that once he stopped it and the guy popped up like, yo, I was up, I was still.
But did you see his eyes though? Like one dude had a whatchamacallit, like a cut of it. His eyes just rolled in the back of his head. Like he was dead. He was done.
I mean, the argument could be made for a second. He looked out, you know.
People don't realize that, you know, a couple seconds in a choke that you ain't supposed to be in that choke can hurt people dramatically.
Yeah. So they were talking about that. Now the Woodley thing, man, so disappointing, man. I mean, he came out sleep. Like he had no engagement. Like he looked like he did not want to mix it up. And he was too tentative, and Nigeria was coming, baby. Nigeria was coming.
He didn't like the fact that you just kept calling him Marty.
Yeah,
and old boy was on their head. Yeah. Boy. Like, I give him respect because leading up to the whole the press conference, everything, all the way through the presentation, everything, he kept the same energy from beginning to end. And you know, Woodley didn't keep that same energy. Woodley just had, you know, one line. I think Woodley just wants to go do music.
Yeah, like he was worried about his celebrity too much. And to be honest, the thing that won me over when I was listening to Kamaru's story is like he's a great wrestler. He's just like a D2, D3 wrestler. Yeah. You know how it is, like the Division 1 dudes be lording over you, like, yo, we won. You know what I'm saying? And like he's like, yo, they know my name because I was the best dude. I used to wreck them dudes. That's how they know me. That's why they calling me Marty from the grass. If I was a nobody, they wouldn't know me. So to see what he did, and then he brought his kid out, you know what I'm saying?
It was a nice thing. I really didn't care for him though, because I was looking for Woodley. but then we get to the main event for me, right? Because I watched the whole card, but we get to the main event for me, and I really thought I called this card the setup card because I thought everybody in the card was, you know, was built for the setup. And I said Dana's just looking to cash in these dudes, like cashing the chips. I thought he was cashing in on Jones, to be honest with you. 9 weeks out from a fight, then you're gonna get this fight right here. And then I was looking at old boy's past fights, and I was like, wow, old boy kind of nice there. Yeah. But you know, Bones just showed me he is top 5 greatest, you know, of the hands. He's probably even top 2 that ever did it, and I'm putting up there with Hoist Gracie type of top 2, not the top 2 of evolution, you know. Sport. Yeah, he's a whole different animal.
Yeah, we just want him to stay off the whatever that is.
Yeah,
we finding picograms in his
you know what I think it is? I think the key to keep him going is to not allow him to get back into the old habits of the drugging and bugging, right? So yeah,
tell you something real quick. He got a scare though. He was dominating. I mean, the dude was just trying to hold on. The dude really had plan on to win. But the thing that was scary was, I think it was round 3, and Jones dropped him, and he put him up against the cage, and the dude was coming up. Normally, when knees down, or whatever, the hand ground, you cannot do the knee from that position, and he kneed him. It was clearly illegal. The stopped. I'm like, yo.
Yeah, it could have got the Roy Jones tactic.
It was. I said, "Oh, it's DQ. He's gonna lose his title." So luckily, when they told her went to go to the replay, he said, "Yo, was it illegal?" They said yes. So I'm like, "Yo, he's definitely gonna lose it." They go over to homeboy, what's his name, Anthony Smith, whatever, and they say, "Can you continue?"
He could have moment, he could have
been like, "Yo,
no, I cannot continue. This guy did the worst."
I give him credit. He was like, "Nah, man, I still want to fight." And I was like,
"That's why I like you MMA dudes, because you see in the boxing ring, dude would have went to the knee. Oh God,
you know how dudes would have do.
I got a LeBron James
writhing in pain.
LeBron James. Oh no. Okay, so then I watched that, and UFC card, beautiful card. Very fantastic card. Then on a boxing note, I watch King Kong Ortiz, get one more step closer to the heavyweight championship, and I watch the Cuban sensation get up in there and win. So it wasn't a great night on boxing, to be honest with you. It was just card. You have a great card coming up. Combat Talk is going to be popping up soon. You got the statues popping up over there. You see one on the table. So as soon as this is done, I'm about to do the unboxing and get that done. But that's been that part. Did we go into what we was playing for the week?
Yeah, for you, what you was playing? What you touch?
I played that Mutant Zero game that Addict put up. Like, cause you know how I do, go out support. So I watched his video. I was like, oh, this game look like it's for me. So I put it on.
Back of the Earthling.
Yeah, Mutant,
the reverse XCOM game.
Bro. That game.
He's talking about Mutant Year Zero, not.
Yeah.
Okay.
That game, not that other XCOM game that you're talking about, that Mutant Zero game, that game is so fire. It's like hard to put in words. If you're into XCOM, me and Attic was in a party chat talking while I'm playing the game. It is amazing what they did with that game, and it's inside Game Pass for free. Like, I can't believe, and I know people out here, you corporate slave, that Game Pass allows me to dig into stuff normally I can't even afford to purchase, because I can't afford to purchase 100 games a month, but I get the chance to touch stuff, and I'm looking at people reviews, going back to that whole fraud and stuff, find a podcaster that you like, find a streamer that you like, and see what they recommend, test those games out, and I really walked away super impressed with that game. I'm still playing it now.
Absolutely. It's funny because you said that, because me and Inferno, we were just talking about that on Four Guys, right? For Inferno. And we were just talking about in terms of like exposure to get with games and Game Pass that normally, we may not have given the light of day, right?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people are just harping on that for having a lot of filler, they call it. That's what they called it the other day on the podcast. A lot of filler content. I mean, some of that filler content is actually really good. The only reason you consider it filler is because you're on the IGNs, the GameSpots of the world. They're giving it 6s, 7s. You're considering that filler. Well, go try it out for yourself. See if you like it. You know what I mean? Like, stop following the recommendations of people you trust, actual gamers, and not, people are playing like 1 million games a week,
Exactly, like that lordsofgaming.net.
Exactly.
Yeah. Let me stop with the plug. But that's pretty much it. Is Zero for you, King?
And other minor stuff like Red Dead, which is like a snooze fest. But
you turned on it. Fonz was with you last week. Now you turned on it.
King's right. Red Dead's a snooze fest, man.
It's the horse. It's literally riding a horse simulator.
I fell asleep with the controller in my hand.
And you know what? I get really annoyed when people's like, just put it on cinematic mode. It looks way better. I'm like, no, I'm not going to put on a mode just to look at the horse riding from 4 different angles. I'm not about that.
I appreciate that, Addict, because honestly, I thought it was me, and I'm like, am I not getting it? I said, but then it gets to these parts when you're in the open world, and after they finish the mission, they like, oh, you want to go back with your team, or do you want to go, go around the world? I'm like, okay, let me go around the world. Oh boy, then I get caught up in some BS, kill somebody by mistake.
You know the thing I hate the most when people say it's an amazing game. You just need to play it for like 20 hours. What?
Yeah,
I got
20 hours? You mean to tell me I can watch the whole Lord of the Rings saga 4 times before I get into this game?
Hold on. I need the quarters in here, man. I need the Lord's quarters. Lord Assassin, let me get Assassin. Assassin, what are you thinking, man? Like, how did you feel about Red? Do you agree, or where you at with Red Dead?
The horror stuff extremely slow. But when we're out of the horror stuff, you're shooting people, dragging people with ropes, hunting animals. Like that's fun. But everything else,
he's talking about
cinematic mode and
game.
take it down.
No. All right, I got you. And Clown, so it's in the bushes for you, Clowns. Like you are.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why cowboys don't exist anymore. They're all dead. They live a boring lifestyle, riding horses, hanging out with other men at campsites. I mean, come on.
I love this guy.
Yo, Inferno. Clowns is just continuing his Red Dead slander from Four Guys.
No, it sounds is there an echo in here? Shit. I mean,
like he's literally continuing his slander. You should have heard him.
He's welcome here anytime.
Clowns is doing the whole, no doubt. So that's been King, and of course we have the Lord of the cooperative gaming experience and gaming ninja himself, the Shinobi LordCognito, spreading that realness in the realm of the ILP, not telling you what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. So for me, tons of Division 2 open beta. Touched a little Anthem. I really wanted to touch, but then Destiny dropped that Season of the Drifter, that Vidoc, and I got hyped. So I had to start getting my character ready, and then went my Anthem time. So that was that. But
Anthem in the bush. What are you talking about? Anthem time? Like most of the time you don't at the loading screen. What are you talking about? Anthem time? Like you only played for 5 minutes when you was out there actually sitting down trying to play for an hour. Cut it out.
This is literally how you spent most of the time, isn't it, Cognito? You neither A, was on a loading screen, or B, waiting for your for your engines to cool off so you can start flying again.
Listen, I have mastered the art of finding water sources and swooping down low.
So now we're looking for water sources. Okay,
I guess my javelin. Shout out to my Iron Man simulators out there. We getting it, the freelancers. You know what I'm saying?
The bushes are still loading for Anthem. I'm done.
You know, Microsoft is still taking that money back. Like for that, they still you at the cusp of the hours that you can return the game and get your money back. Right?
Yo, shout out to Big Cloud Gaming in the building. Shout out to Stitch. Shout out to the freelancers in the chat. Thank you. Anyway, but yo, man, I want to definitely I rewatched episode 100, man, and I definitely want to give the entire gaming community a huge shout, man. It was really cool to rewatch it, and I want to give some love back to you guys in the room, and especially actually last week, a Lord that I forgot to mention, you know, with all the drunken festivities, King. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, you too. Like he over at me, Kane.
No, I think we're all together.
Okay.
I throw you under the bus.
Everybody except for Mr. Boomstick, and that's my man.
Because Boom had that water. He was good. But yeah, man. So like, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to, you know, this is a Lord that kind of remains behind the scene. He don't guest on podcasts much these days, but definitely extremely integral to what we do here at ILP. And someone actually have a ton of gaming discussions like daily. You know what I mean? So Iron Lord salute, tip of the glass to my brother Lord Kaibatsu. Thank you, bro, for all the things you do in respect to the movement. You are very much appreciated, and I want the world to know that I'm getting my love on. So shout out to Kai, man. That's my guy.
That man admits that Anthem's trash. I can't condone it.
Not on Kai's watch. That's the Anthem Defense Force champ. You are not going to slander that game.
Anthem is a great game. Maybe you just don't know how to play it.
I don't know how to play the whackness, so I definitely fall in that category.
So hold on, no, Clown. You open the door. You got to explain to me what it's like to play the Division. I mean, not the Division, Anthem. What am I doing so wrong that I couldn't enjoy the game? How do I play Anthem?
Well, you got to play as Colossus, number one. Best javelin out there.
All right.
I mean, once you play as Colossus, you're going to fall in love with the game a lot more. And unlike Red Dead Redemption 2,
so I gotta limit the content. Got you.
Sure, yeah. And you don't have to play 20 hours, just 2 hours, and then you'll start getting into it. So give it 2 hours. And then when they talk their dialogue, just keep hitting B and skipping it, because that's the boring part. You don't need any of that.
I can't listen to the story at all. Gotcha.
No. The story is terrible.
Yeah, what story?
It's all about getting in those missions, getting the contrast, the legendary stuff, the strongholds. That's where the fun is.
Clowns, are they showing you the stuff when you get it, or you still got to wait till you get to the house?
You guys still wait.
No, you still gotta wait. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta pay the bills real quick, man. $5 super chat for my Lord Brap, Basement Radio Arcade Podcast. Thank you so much, sir. Much appreciated in the building. Thanks for the love.
I'm gonna play that game when they give you the unsealed book back. When they give you the unsealed book back, when that patch come out that you can see what you got and you can switch your stuff in the field and you want to be a real looter shooter, hey, then I'm gonna be right in there with my little Iron Man boot.
Disrespect. We said Anthem is the worst bits of Destiny.
No.
Yo, they going in, clowns.
Yo, it's the worst bits of Destiny and Division. Because that Division beta, the second beta was awesome.
You know, I see this a lot on Twitter. It's the visual jetpacks, and so I'm seeing all the time.
You know, for me, the best thing about Anthem is I don't gotta wait for like 8 people to go into a stronghold. I just get like 3 people and I'm rolling.
Yeah, that's
Get some randoms. They know what they're doing. And Destiny, I used to spend like 3 hours trying to get people together. 3 or 4 hours.
Oh, you wasn't part of a clan. That's why you didn't like it. See,
how are you going to punish us for you having no friends? That makes no sense.
See, that's the point. See, but you know what? That's why we was embracing people. We stuck our arms out there. You know, shout out to the Cali team that's in there, J-Bone, Chris, and everybody. You know, we actually out there playing every day, so you will always have somebody to play with on Destiny.
So, wow,
I'm sorry, man.
Chris disrespected Division hard. It's crazy out here.
He got mad Division because he got Anthem and he knows
I got it.
He hateful right now.
You know, it's like you can't be fan of both. Like you notice, like it's a very divisive thing, Inferno, between these looter shooters.
Red versus blue.
Yeah, man.
Dude, Anthem, man.
Inferno's on the Anthem hate train. Don't listen to him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Not picking that thing up until it's like $30. So these guys have been begging me. These guys are begging me every day. Anthem, man. Yeah.
Yo, Inferno, you said $30. I say EA Access.
Really? Okay.
So now that we got all the mushy stuff out the way and got into what the Lords were playing, I want to start with the Lords of Quarters. Some of their video game system history. Mind you, LordCognito has already received the royal treatment before. Please check out ILP 55 for his amazing gaming history, iconic Toys R Us stories, and the best dad in the business. But also, we want to discuss, the background formation of one of my favorite podcasts out there, those iconic 4 guys. So let's start with you, Lord Inferno. Your video game system history, kind of what got you into gaming.
I think, what got me into gaming really was I have an older brother who is 11 years older than me. So he was really the one to bring the games into the house. So when that original Nintendo showed up, when like the Game Boys, the Ataris that I got to be honest with you, I didn't screw around with the Atari that much. That didn't really have my interest, especially when there was a Nintendo right there as well.
Yeah, that one button, man, you just do it for you, huh? That one red button.
wasn't really doing it for me. But like also up here, just in New Hampshire, there's the biggest arcade in the world, Fun Spot. I don't know if you guys ever hit that spot up, but it is the biggest arcade in the world, and it has a ton of retro games. So I was totally into those. The whole top floor is all retro games. None of that like, Time Crisis or any of that, recent stuff. It's all old stuff. They have it all sectioned off by publisher and developer. They have like Namco section off, Nintendo, Sega, like they have it all sectioned off like that. So you guys should. Well, you guys probably aren't going to be here long enough, but it's like 100.
It's still going on.
It still exists. Yeah, it still exists. It's the biggest arcade in the world. It's like an hour and 30 minutes north of Boston. Yeah, it's in New Hampshire, so yeah, it's kind of far away. But
no.
Yeah,
I gotta reach out to old school style. I think he's in New Hampshire. Let him know.
There you go. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I got into games, because actually before I even played games like in my home, I was playing in that arcade. So I was already like getting the bright lights, of the arcade setting. And I was like totally into video games because of that. And, when they finally got home and I got those arcade ports like Circus Charlie, like I can remember distinctly playing that on my NES, the original Super Mario Brothers, like Donkey Kong, like when Duck Hunt, that arcade still has like the combo Duck Hunt and, what's the other one, Clowns? That's with Duck Hunt there. The cowboy one. I can't remember the game, but it has like all those old school ones that made their ports to NES, and that's when I kind of like started gaming at home and really enjoyed like some retro gaming. So obviously after that, just bought everything I could really.
Okay. So what you transitioned from the NES? What did you transition to, if you can remember? Did you like hit the 32-bit era, or you skip? Or
Absolutely no. I never had any SNES at launch. I was a Genesis guy. So So
with the Sega kids, let's go.
It was all Genesis, and even when
some early with Nintendo, remember that?
Absolutely. Oh my god. How can you not? Those are the good days of the console wars, and this BS we see now. But yeah, and so transitioning like with Sega, staying with Sega, like I was one of the few people that had like a 32X in my area, so people were like coming over checking that out. 32X, get some flack. It had some good versions of some games, like some of the fighting games on there, fantastic.
Now you love
anything to boost that Genesis up was fantastic. That CD, fantastic. That 32X on top. Did you get the 32X combo CD?
Yeah, absolutely, dude. 32X CD, baby. It was like the Power Rangers, like all the Zords coming together. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Unite, baby. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I had that, and it took a while for me to go over to like a PlayStation or something like that. I held on to the 32X CD for a while, actually. I didn't have a PlayStation at launch. Yeah.
Committed to 32X. Wow.
Yeah. The Sega CD I thought was pretty cool. Like the,
give me some games.
Like the real-time video stuff.
Yeah.
Actually my favorite, I mean, this may sound cliche, but I still even play it to this day, is Sonic CD. I thought that was an amazing Sonic game. And that's probably my favorite Sega CD game. And then, when the Saturn came out, like I really wanted that thing. And, it took me a while to finally get one. Traded it in, and it was the worst decision ever. I recently got one again. Maybe like a month or so ago, or 2 months ago.
Hold on 1 second, Inferno. I gotta pay bills.
Yeah, please.
With the $2 super chat. Can we all take a moment to pray for ID? Oh, because there's a lot of Division versus Anthem slander going on. They're still continuing this in the chat. So that's what that is. They want everyone to pray for Dizzy for his hate of Division.
He needs to go away with that. That is the second best MMO on consoles to date. So
he said he needs Jesus, Lord. Yo, they going in on Dizzy right now. Anyway, Viper Strike says Snatcher. He's throwing out them Sega CD times. Continue. I interrupt Inferno. Continue.
Yeah, no, Snatcher was good. I mean, like Night Trap, obviously. Shining Force CD, I thought was probably the best Shining Force game to date.
Did you like Sewer Shark?
Which one?
Sewer Shark.
I never played that, I don't think.
What?
I know.
That is that is probably the most iconic Sega CD game. Is about shooting rats in the sewer. Right? And the dialogue.
Y'all think Attic can't wait to play that?
Oh no, it's not for Attic. It's for us old school heads. Like because we said, when we was chasing bits, 16-bit, 32-bit. When we was chasing bits, that's when I thought it was really good with consoles, because you wanted the console to be that next step. 64-bit. You really wanted that bit to be at the end of your joint. But like Sewer Shark, that. You gotta at least look at video of it online.
You make fun of me for playing Kingdom Hearts and you playing shooting rats in the sewer.
I don't tease you with all that. That's other people that tease you. I don't tease you for anything that you play. Cut it out.
Dude, Sega CD had the best corny games of all time. Like, honestly, like Willy Beamish. You guys ever play that? That game was hot.
Best game.
That game was hot. And it had some good fighting games too, like Eternal Champions. Yeah, exactly. Like other corny games like Wonder Dog. You remember that, Clowns? Yeah. I know you remember that, Clowns.
That came with the Sega CD, right? Wonder Dog?
Yeah, that came with it. Yeah, it came with it. Exactly. Yeah.
I think mine came with that music CD with In Access.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I had the Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch one too.
No, they did not. Yep. Yeah. That was like the full motion video, like very good quality music stage. They were really taking advantage. They didn't necessarily bump the graphics up in my opinion, but they had so much ambiance around the game with video and music that it was real quick. Again, got to pay the bill. Shout out to Raymond Morrell, $5 super chat. Anthem is the load screen simulator, and Division 2 is somewhere in the bushes awaiting a patch update.
You missed one too. Neo Meadow said, "Can we all take a moment to pray for Dizzy?"
Yeah, I got that one.
You got that. You was unfocused playing your game.
No. Okay, I'm not playing a game. I'm eating. No.
Oh, now you eating.
Now I'm eating.
Your contribution to listening to Inferno.
Look, at least I'm open with my eating.
No, you know you need to do. Put your camera on so we can see exactly what you're up to.
Be monitored.
You got to hit that PayPal. I'm talking about later.
Inferno. So 32-bit era, and then you said it took you a while, and then you kind of transitioned over to what was it? Now was it a PlayStation? Or
yeah, actually, funny story about the N64. I'll tell you is that the N64 had come out. It was like 96 or whatever. N64 comes out, and I had no clue that we were gonna get. Me and I have a brother that's 1 year older than me, and then a brother that's 11, like I said. And then the brother that's 1 year older than me was like, "Oh, if we get the N64 for Christmas, it's mine, and if we don't, then you can have the Sega 32X CD." I was like, "Deal, right?" Because I never thought my parents would get one. Because if you remember back then, the N64, that thing was impossible to get, man. That thing was so hard to get. And of course, my brother unwraps an N64, and I was like, "No, like, no way. There's no, like, obviously I didn't want to go with that bet, like him having the 64, right?"
Absolutely.
But like, with the drought of games with the 64, like I played Super Mario 64 for a little bit. We had Pilot Wings or whatever.
Yeah, a drought. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it launched with only like 3 titles or something. Like it was ridiculously low title count. And then, the games were expensive, so I didn't want to use my Christmas money on those games. So it was like, okay, I'll stick to my Wonder Boy and Willie Beamish for a while. And
it wasn't about that life until they got it.
No, exactly. I mean, but 64 was hot. I didn't have a PlayStation for a very, very long time. Very long time, maybe like 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah. It took a long time for me to get a PlayStation. I was committed to that 32X CD. Wow. And I was. I mean, obviously the PlayStation stuff was awesome, but I just in terms of just like buying games, and I already had that, and I didn't want to like start over with something new at that age. You know what I mean? And
so and then now here's the thing. So obviously a lot of us in the community, we know you as an Xbox. I won't say the Xbox guy. You play everything, but you're big in the Xbox community. So like, how did that love for Microsoft and Xbox start? Like, what was the kind of thing that did it?
Man, honestly, I don't even know how I decided to get the original Xbox. I think it was coming out, and if you guys remember back in the day, EB Games was doing like you had to buy like a 3-game package. Mm-hmm. When you pre-ordered it, it was like $600. It came with like another controller and 3 games, something like that. Mm-hmm. And I grabbed that, and I thought Madden on that thing was just like too legit. After I played that first Madden, I was just like, okay, this is real. This is real. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I think my parents were just, not that I had to like necessarily get their approval, but like I always kind of looked to my dad and my older brother for guidance on tech and stuff like that when I was younger. And Microsoft was obviously a name you could trust then. So I kind of just grabbed an Xbox, and then obviously the 360 kind of speaks for itself. You know what I mean? Especially when you were kind of like late on the PlayStation bandwagon. I didn't even have a PS2. Probably didn't get a PS2 until like 2003. So I was pretty late on the PlayStation bandwagon. So even this gen, I don't think I got a PlayStation 4 until like 2000. What was it? Assassin, like 2015, maybe?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah. So
okay.
Yeah.
This is interesting history. Now that I see the Assassin chime in there, so I want to get him too as well. Like, what about your gaming system history, Assassin? Like the young gunner. Like, what got you into gaming?
So I started with the N64. I was really young when it came out. Mm-hmm. Played a lot of Super Mario Bros. 64 with my mom, and Mario Kart. Nice. Some Pokemon Stadium, and then Hey Pikachu, which I still don't know how that works, because you got to put that headset on and talk to Pikachu, and I'm like, and it never seemed to work, so I don't think I got far. And then later on, I got, I think, the Game Boy Color.
Okay, my handhelds. Finally, people talk about handhelds. Yes. Continue. I'm sorry. I'm excited.
I forget the games I played on it, except
hey, watch King. Somehow Switch is going to get brought up into this now.
Continue.
I used to play like a lot of Pokemon Crystal and Zelda: Link to the Past, which and there were some other games, but I don't even remember them. Then I went to the Game Boy Advance.
Nice.
Which, unfortunately, I sold to GameStop for the PlayStation game Meg or whatever. Massive
Okay.
action.
Wait, Mac, that's the one that was frauded. Like it had like 100 players or something. What's that?
Yeah. It was a terrible decision.
Yeah, that's bad.
So when you went, they traded boy color all your games for that?
Yeah, I was young still like really young.
Those were the days when you traded games in. Those were the days when you traded games in. It was like a quarter, right? They'd be like, okay, this one's worth a quarter. Here you go. They take that coin, they hand it over.
Track stories, King. Remember we used to do stupid like that?
Yo, I shut down GameStop with Xbox, right? So you know when the Xbox was coming out, right? So they said if you bring in DVDs, that you get for every DVD that you bring in, you get 50% on the next DVD, like for store credit. I brought in I had the football bags, right? You put your football equipment in.
Oh my god, wow.
I brought in 2 football bags. They could fit full-size bodies, right? Wow. I brought 2 football bags in full of DVDs. It was like 2,000 DVDs. Yo, the dude at the counter was so pissed off because he had to buy what was just on the
You gotta take advantage of them.
They counted everything. They scanned everything through. Everything went in. It went from 2 shifts. It went from the morning shift to the night shift. Right? listen. I got 2 Xbox 360s with every game for like 2 years. Dude,
and then right then and there is the reason they stopped that promotion.
You know that?
Right now. Shut you right down.
That manager sent that email like, look, people are using this. Stop. We taking 2. We had to take the mailman had to come in. Like we got to get the food dudes. Like we got to have so much help to carry these 2,000 DVDs.
I told Cognito, yo, go in there. They taking the DVDs. He's like, all right. He said, yo, he said, nah, they ain't taking no more DVDs.
They sent out a worldwide alert. But anyway, back to Lord Assassin. So you made the trade, you get Mag, and you gotta be frustrated, man, when you come back with the Mag.
Yeah, like years later, I was so upset because I had a GameCube with the Game Boy Advance thing that you could plug the games in and play it, on the TV.
That was good. That was awesome.
Yeah, and I didn't have any games. I was extremely sad.
Man, I feel your pain, bro. How did you bounce back? What was the next thing? What'd you get?
Well, then I got what was it? It was either the Nintendo DS or it was the Wii.
Okay.
Which I had for the Wii for like forever. And then I finally got a PS2 for Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2. Great games.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went to the PS3.
Okay.
Then there was
$600 down for that PS3. Ooh,
I waited a few years. I got when the Slim came out.
I got you.
So I got that.
The one with the Spider-Man logo on it. You got the other one. I remember that one. Mm-hmm.
And then not the glorious, but the annoying day of no PSN for a month happened, and I got so pissed. I traded that thing in and got a 360, and of course, the day I traded in, PSN went up.
Oh, wow. You got the worst luck. Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, that's bro. Damn.
So I played, I think all I did was Call of Duty for like the longest time.
I know you for. Shout out to the noob killer.
And then I finally went to some Battlefield, and then the 1 came out, and I got a PS4 instead.
Oh, okay. So you're rocking it. So you don't have the one. You got the PS4 just exclusively?
Well, and then I think a month or so later, I got the 1, and then I stuck with it until the end.
Fair enough. Young history, man. I like it, man. So, LordClognito, you on 55, and this man mentioned that he had every video game system known to man. So we don't really need to recap too tough because salute the Papa Clowns, man. Because we just need to confirm because Clowns, you had said something in ILP 55, which was kind of cool. And I need to know, is it true? Now that I got all the Lords of Quarters in the building, I need to know, is it true that Plants vs. Zombies in party chat is the reason 4GwQPodcast exists?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what got all of us together.
Nice. I need confirmations, Assassin. I need confirmations, Inferno. Let me hear it. How it go down.
It's true. It's true. No, 100%. That's true.
Wow. Bring it down.
True. That's true. I mean, it's man, we used to play with this guy that was it turned out to be an absolute jerk on Twitch. Like we all watched him, and then we ended up playing with him, and then this guy turned out to be a jerk, and we won't get into the whole story, but eventually we just stopped chilling with that guy and started just playing.
They band up together to hate on the other dude.
Pretty much. Yeah. But so then we were just playing that game, and we're talking about like the kind of games we play, and kind of like getting to know each other a little bit better, and we all had like some good opinions on kind of differing stuff, and we were just like, let's just start a podcast. Like I obviously like knew how to do some graphics work and some production work or whatever, just through PC and streaming or whatever. So figigured why not, let's get this thing going.
Modest. You probably told them, yo, I'm nice, right?
Yeah. Like, you have a lot of fans, man. Everybody gets, not to cut you with one segment. Every time like people give me credit, like you don't understand it, for like you're the standard that Addict and King always, they like, yo, but Inferno did this.
Yo, he can't hear anything. I just told him last week that. I said, man, if you don't get over there and step it up, you better find out what he's using. You better talk to him.
All the accolades, you gotta understand that you are the bar they keep comparing me to, man.
I appreciate that. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. I mean, we've been doing this for a while, and it's evolved a little bit, but I mean, the core of what we do is kind of the same. And I've changed programs a few times, kind of learned that stuff. And actually, my background is not graphics or any of that kind of stuff at all. Like I went to school for biology.
Wow. Yeah. Now I'm insulted. I should be knowing. If you're the biologist / marketer.
The power of YouTube, man.
You know what he said? You know what he said? This is his greatness. And I like it because he's super humble. He just said, I'm not even fluent in that language, right?
Wow, King. Wow. Breaking it down, translating.
He said, I'm really nice in biology. Like, if you think I'm nice in this, like, this is what I went to school for. Like,
break down the story. I interrupted you. Break down the story.
No. And then we just got together. We did a couple episodes. We had, we kind of like were thinking about the name. Clowns threw out some iterations of 4GwQs. Like, I don't know. I can't remember exactly how we zeroed down on 4GwQs, but we were kind of like, okay, well, 3 out of the 4 of us were kind of from the arcade era. Obviously, Assassin. I don't even know Assassin. Have you ever even stepped into an arcade, bro? Like, honestly, other than like Chuck E. Cheese?
we had one near me. It had like mini golf, all this arcade. It even had Ferris wheel inside the building and everything. And then I got shut down. And it was sad.
Well, the Inferno's right. What we did was, if the podcast idea was actually Inferno's idea, because he's like, man, I listen to a lot of podcasts. I love podcasts, so I want to do a podcast, all of us together, talk about what we like. And then we sat in, I think it was like Google Hangouts one day or Skype or whatever, and I threw out a bunch of names like 4GwQs, 4 guys with blah blah blah, and then a friend's like, yeah, 4GwQs sounds good. And then I remember Assassin replied with something like, sounds like a bunch of old guys.
he's your addict. I can already see. That's
dude, it was a bunch. Other than Assassin, it was a bunch of old guys to start off, and 3 of the original 4 are still around. So I mean, majority rules. It is still old guys, Assassin. So sorry.
You had to change the culture. Don't you worry about it. You just change the culture. So that's how it started. You just kind of took off from there, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's been like 5 years now, almost 5 years since we started. I think we started back in like June or July 2014, and next week will be 200 episodes. I know you guys, celebrated 100, and that's a huge deal. I remember 100 ourselves, and I remember like couldn't believe in getting to 100, let alone 200. And it like you guys kind of said last episode. I watched your episode last week, and like you kind of were just saying when you recapped here today, it's like it's extremely humbling to have these people come and watch you every week and, tell you they enjoy your stuff, and, people that have given you like recommendations and stuff, and you take those recommendations and roll with them. And it's really humbling and awesome that, you can build something out of that. So
Absolutely, man. 200, man. You guys have doubled us, man. You guys are doing it, man. That is really cool, and definitely you got to do something special for 200. Do not let that go past without doing something special.
Pop them bottles. Listen, I sell those bottles, $500 a bottle. Get at me.
Be appreciative because at the end of the day, like I
Don't
said,
listen to this man.
Listen, man, get at me. Those bottles is fantastic. Yo, same day delivery. Holla at your boy.
So thank you, Clowns, for verifying that story, man. I can't believe it. Now, Lord Assassin, I got 2 questions for you. So, one, what the hell is ZPCI?
Here we go.
Oh, that's the first question. Let's start with that. What's that?
Okay, so when I got my 360, I only had like one friend. At the time.
Wow, that sounds really good.
Well, it gets better. So then I forget how I met these guys, but it just happened that I was in a party with other people in Wisconsin. Well, at least one person, and I got to know these guys. They were cool. Clowns know and Inferno knows him as Jaren. And their gamer tag was ZPCI, whatever. I don't even remember. They changed it so much.
Okay.
So then, you know, it's at the time, well, still now, it stands for Zombie Pest Control Incorporated, which was which is an old game that they enjoyed. And so one day I had a terrible gamer tag. I don't even remember what it was, and I decided to pay the $10. And just changed it to ZPCI Assassin, and never changed it since.
Now, are them dudes still the name? Are you the only ZPCI running around now?
So one of my friends who got a 360 later on has his name as ZPCI Madman, but the other guys changed it.
Oh, they're not loyal.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's like you the only guy that got the tattoo. That's like we all gonna go get tattoos. Yay! Oh no, just me.
No, I always want to know it. It's a zombie. What is it? Zombie something?
Zombie Pest Control Incorporated.
All right, I got it. Now the second one, a little bit of more of the serious tone. I got a question for you, which was I wanted to highlight like the awareness that you actually bring to the colorblind gaming community, and I really respect you for that because you know how, especially how you make the developers aware, you know, and I guess my question to you is like, in your opinion, do you think that these options are actually improving for gamers?
So when they're actually good options, which 99% of the games have terrible options. DICE does excellent work with almost all their titles. Battlefield 4 and 5, I don't know if Hardline, but they do beyond anyone else. They so
Battlefield, you say DICE is like one of the top up there as far as
they set the standard, and everyone else is just here on the floor playing dead. Well, for instance, Apex Legends, right? They have this ping system and this whole like colored loot. You turn the colorblind options on because I'm red green colorblind. So when someone pings an enemy, it turns red. Well, when you turn those colorblind options on, the red goes to red. Oh, so it doesn't do anything, and I can't see anything. I think it's tier 3 loot, which is supposed to be purple, turns to blue. Tier 2 loot, which is blue, stays to blue. So it's really kind of annoying to kind of differentiate, what loot's loot. Call of Duty, for instance, when you turn it on, the enemies turn yellow, but then you play in a desert map, which is yellow. You can't see anything.
I got you.
Or Anthem, everyone's favorite game. You turn that on, it makes the white people extremely white, like albino white. Doesn't change anything else. It just makes them albino. I'm like, that's not even red and green to begin with.
Wow. Hold on one quick second. I just got to pay the bill. Shout out to Fastback OG NLG Podcast with the $25 super chat. Wow. Missed my Iron Lords, the last two. You missed episode 100. Hit that like and subscribe. These great entertainment, positive gamers, and throw these Anthem hater opinions in the bushes, Lord Kid. So Kingers go, yo, thank you, brother. Fastback, man. That's our NLG fam. I see a lot of you guys in the chat. Thank you so much, bro. But now continue on, Lord Assassin, because it's important, and I'm glad you highlighted it. That as far as Dice and them being like one of the top guys as far as the colorblind community. Now, I just wanted to mention, I know you're not probably a Destiny fan, but I did recently see with their next season of the Drifter content, they have like these armor sets that are like specific colors that's going to kind of correspond to specific roles they're going to introduce. And I was shocked that they mentioned all these colorblind options. I think for the first time I've ever seen Destiny do it. Now, did the base game, I know you're not a Destiny guy, but did the base game that you play, was anything in place for it at that time?
Yeah, so there's colorblind options in the game when it first launched and whatever, but it kind of ruined the drops for me. So for instance, green was brown.
Oh, I got you.
And I'm like, killing these enemies, and then like someone took a dump on my screen, like a brown Ingram just goes poof, like
wow. That visual is kind of hilarious. So that kind of turned you off from Destiny. And I'm gonna assume.
Well, I mean, there was other things that turned me off
with the brown drops.
But
could you imagine him in a party saying, "Yo, where's all these brown drops coming from?" And then everybody's like, "What? Brown drops?"
But like, and then the greens when it changed. So like on Titan or whatever the water planet thing in Destiny 2, like there were some green lights. Like none of that would change. It just drops. So it's like, thanks for half-assing everything like everyone else does.
I got you. So salute right now. It's Dice then. It's Battlefield. That's the gold standard.
Yes, because they let you change everything. If you don't like the blue enemy or teammate color, you can change that to gold. Change the like everything. Anything that has a color, you can go right in and change it.
So because I'm ignorant when it comes to the colorblind issue. So when I thought it was colorblind, I thought it was like devoid of color. Like
no,
actually,
you see like colors like differently. So like a lime, for instance, you pick that thing up, it might look one shade of green to you, right? And it'll look different shade or red. Like for me, sometimes it looks more pink or sometimes orange, depending on the shade.
Okay.
And everything just it can like for text, like you won't be able to see it. It looks like a blur to me.
Okay.
For like Metro Exodus, when you look at the map, the player icon's like a weird red. I don't see that. So it's like, even Inferno can say, like, he asked me if I was lost, and I truly am, because all I see is this giant circle on the map, and I don't know which way I'm pointing to.
Oh, okay.
All right. It's good, man. I'm glad you spoke up on it, and like I said, to just bring awareness to it. A lot of people don't realize that, and it's definitely something in our community. So salute to you for, like I said, I noticed your Twitter account. You're always kind of like pioneering that. You're always speaking to the developers in reference to that. So definitely wanted to give you a shout out in reference to that's real positive, man. But yeah, man, actually we're gonna wrap this up as far as the gaming history. But so actually Inferno and Assassin, I gotta start with you two first. Inferno, the question that we ask all the guests, it is your time. Top 5 video game franchises of all time.
Wow. Honestly, man.
We single game.
No, I mean, I don't know if I can order them top 5 like that. I mean, somewhere in there, like somewhere in there for me, honestly, is NBA 2K. Recently,
okay.
Recently it's been a little rocky, but like, man, those games for Dreamcast were iconic. Even like leading into the early days of 360, like those graphics were insane. The gameplay was so good. And I am a big NBA fan. Like I make sure I go to like probably like 5 or 6 Celtics games a year at least. So I was there last year when they lost the game 7 to the Cavs, unfortunately, but it was a good time nonetheless, whatever. But yeah, NBA 2K is definitely up there. Mortal Kombat for me, iconic game franchise. What can you say, really? I mean, the new one coming out looks so hot. Can't wait until next month for that.
Okay.
What else we got? Battlefield. Honestly, like in terms of shooters, like Battlefield's my jam, man. Like I've played pretty much every Battlefield, and when they come out, even this Battlefield 5, everyone wants to knock it. Even Hardline, when everyone was knocking that, was still on there playing that.
The 4 with the destructible, the can destruction.
Oh yeah.
Was there well before I liked it? I did like I don't care. Whatever.
Yeah, no, I did. No, it was good. It was good. I mean, people will like come to me and ask me, you know, my top Battlefield games of all time or whatever, and we'll disagree or whatever. But you know, some of them were really iconic, like Bad Company 2. Like that was a really good one. Can't wait for that. Hopefully, they bring that franchise back. It's been taking too long, but whatever. Speaking of something we're going to talk about today, Borderlands. I mean, Borderlands 2, one of my favorite like shooter RPGs of all time. It's probably the best of all time, in my opinion. You know, pre-sequel was a little bit of a letdown, but still like took on some of the gameplay aspects of Borderlands 2, so I was still into it. Come on. And then, you know, man, what else really? What else? I mean, I really love Sonic, dude. Like Sonic, like I said, with the Sega games, like I had pretty much every Sonic game, even through the bad times, you know. Like some of the 360 games, I mean, yuck, dude. Yeah. Sonic Adventure though, Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, those are my jam. You know, Sonic 3, obviously, excellent. Sonic 2, excellent. I had a Game Gear for a very little amount of time until like
did you have a Dreamcast?
I had a Dreamcast. Yeah, I had a Dreamcast. Yeah, okay. I forgot to say that during my history. Yeah, no, I definitely had a Dreamcast.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I mean, Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 had those on there. Those games were like lit. I mean, those Sonic Adventure games, I really wish they could just bring those back in some capacity to that level. I mean, I know they've tried, but maybe the landscape has changed and there's no market for it anymore. Not as big of a market, but I really wish they would because those games are so great.
One more.
And man, one more that I just truly love. Man, you're gonna have to come back to me on that. I can't think of one off the top of my head. I probably should have just written down a list.
It's all good. We're gonna hold on to your 4, and then we're gonna let Assassin. I need top 5 Assassin. Let's go.
Okay, let's see. The Uncharted series, absolutely love those games. Uncharted 4 is probably one of my favorite games of all time ever made.
Wow, salute. Nathan Drake.
What up? Definitely the Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare series.
That's right.
I've been giving that game a lot of crap recently, but I mean, I have a lot of memories with that game and some really annoying ones, like getting ripped off the world record for coins. What else?
Versus Zombies, Uncharted.
Call of Duty. I know everyone's like, "Oh, Call of Duty."
Wow.
I play that game so much.
Trying to set up a pay-per-view match with my young gunner MJ the Boss versus you, but Inferno said he's gonna get killed by you.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah.
Inferno said I shouldn't do it if I need to protect my young gunner's life.
Yeah, that'll be, to put in King's terms, that'll be a round 1 knockout TKO.
Boss, we gonna train, baby. I'm gonna train MJ the Boss. I heard about you though, Assassin. I heard you. It's legendary what you do out there.
He got Assassin in his name. You better leave that man alone.
Man.
What else? The Star Wars Battlefront games, the old ones, not the new ones. They always will have a place in my heart for the old ones. And then probably the Rock Band / Guitar Hero games. I can't play those games anymore due to some nerve issues, but
that was your joy. That was your joy. Used to be jamming.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Inferno ain't letting you off the hook. Come on, man. One more. Let's go.
Man, dude, it's
just personal too. There you gotta be world now. Just maybe something.
I'm trying to think of something that has like a good story that I could like.
Heroes, right?
You know what I mean? Dude, Rock Band was actually a great one, dude. I used to host Rock Band parties all the time.
So there you go. What's up? You hosting parties?
He's also a beast at Smash Bros.
Just say the adventure of Snoop Dogg.
He's struggling with it. Assassin, what do you think is on his list that you think is one of his favorite games of all time? And Clowns, what do you think is one of his games of all time?
Anthem. Just kidding.
Wow.
Anthem is top 5.
Bush is bound.
Clowns, what do you think is Inferno's one of his top 5 games? What do you think?
Okay, I'm gonna announce 3 that I think might be in there. Okay, Mario Kart series, Smash Bros, or Mario All Stars.
Mario Kart's probably the closest in terms of game time played, but you know, if we're going racing game, I'd definitely say Forza. I mean, I've played every single Forza there is.
Forza, you got that trophy.
I get that trophy. Oh my God, where's that trophy? By the way, is it right over here?
Rub it
there it is. There it is. Oh baby.
Hold on. Let me give you a zoom in. Hold on. What type of New England Patriots championship is this? What's going on?
What the hell?
Dude, you guys were there, weren't you? This was the E3 Forza Championship 2016, baby.
Wait a second, you won that?
Hell yeah.
So how the hell that ain't in your top 5?
Come to memory.
I'm trying to think of like older series, you know what I mean? I don't know.
You got an actual trophy for playing the game, bro. And that's not in your top 5. Like, that's top 5 memory in my head. What's wrong with you?
This was a good memory until I had to pay like the extra $50 for the carry-on for the check bag because it was heavy, dude. This is heavy. But no, dude, that was a good moment. That was a good moment.
I look like, what's up?
I look fire. I look fire.
Did they etch your name in it?
No. That does not my name. It just says E3 2016 champion. It's probably not going to come through very well in the video, but
no, it came through very fine.
It looked like a Lombardi, son.
Yo, that's what's up. Your guys out there in New England getting all these trophies.
Yo, Anchorman said, "Kid, where's your trophy at, kid?"
I don't got no trophy. What the hell wrong with you, Anchorman? Where's your trophy for 76? In the book.
Anyway, Lord Clowns, we're gonna let you end this segment off, man. Now, last ILP, like I said, you were on. Your top 5 was specific. I'm gonna throw it back at you. I just want to know if anything has changed. Your top 5 at the time of ILP 55 was Super Mario, Mario Kart, Donkey Kong Country, Battletoads, and Double Dragon. Has anything changed, or shall that remain the same?
Well, now that I got many weeks to think between, I should have put Mega Man in there. So let's knock Donkey Kong out for Mega Man.
What?
Wow. Okay. We updating right now. I'm updating it on the fly. All right. Yeah. So Mega Man is building, and everything else retains its spot. Super Mario Brothers, Mario Kart, Battletoads, Double Dragon, and now Mega Man.
Yep.
All right, my man. All right. Great video system history by the Lords of Quarters. We're going to get into the show. We got a lot of show to go. So last week's poll results are in, and the people have spoken to the question. With the latest rumors regarding Game Pass coming to Switch and Xbox Scarlet devices being revealed at E3 2019, if proven true, do you think it will be a tactical mistake for Sony not to be present in any capacity during E3? The winner of the ILP 3-well poll at 69% is the yes. Scarlet Head Start and Switch partnership will provide huge momentum group. Coming in at second place at 27% was the no. Sony is still the dominant force of this generation. Their games will dictate the gen group. And coming in at last at only 4% was I don't care. Next gen doesn't really start until Google says so. Who participated in the poll? Lord Clowns, what do you think about this?
As far as E3 is concerned, I'm more excited about PAX nowadays. So I really don't think it's going to hurt Sony in any of the least by withdrawing from E3, as long as they still got stuff to show at other conventions.
Okay, fair enough. So you think they can survive the any type of onslaught that comes their way, as far as E3 is concerned?
Yeah, I mean, they're still selling systems, so hasn't hurt them yet.
Not true, they have been declining, but let's go.
Lord Addict, what do you feel about this poll? Do you think that they can survive but not being there with the whole news, these rumors coming out with Xbox, Nintendo, Game Pass, yada yada?
Well, I mean, I don't think it's going to destroy their momentum or anything like that, but I do think that it just depends on what Microsoft and Nintendo do. If the thing is what around E3, one of the biggest advantages that Sony had is they were the next day. So pretty much they would stop the momentum of whatever Microsoft did it in a day. Now you're going to have 2 whole days that people are just talking about Microsoft from Sunday to Tuesday. I don't. If they go to other events, I get it. You want a presence in every corner of the world. but everyone around the world looks at E3.
Gotcha.
So I just don't understand how you would, if you have any kind of supposedly right now, The Last of Us is coming out in October, some kind of leak. I don't know. I doubt it, but let's say that does come out in October. Like, that game don't necessarily need to be, shown at an event like that, but they could literally go out there for 30 minutes, show a giant gameplay of Last of Us, and show an October release date, and that would satisfy people.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I mean, supposedly Death Stranding's coming out. Like, if people's like, oh, they have nothing to show. No, release dates, they've been doing the same thing for years. They show the same game for 2 years, and the third year they show all the release dates.
So you think they could literally just stick to that formula, show a release date, have a new trailer, Last of Us, boom.
We haven't seen nothing about the multiplayer of Last of Us.
Fair enough.
We've seen one good trailer of Ghost of Tsushima. Like, there's stuff they could show, but I honestly and truly think that, they got butchered for last year. I think last year's E3 conference might have them pulling out of it. Like, because last year's E3 conference, I ain't never seen someone go at Sony like I did last year.
Yeah, it was rough. I mean, again,
Phil had them off. They deemed.
Oh my. Here we go with the film.
But I don't necessarily think they're going to be hurting. But if Microsoft comes out for a really good show,
it's coming. It was a really great show last year. Hello.
If they show off a really good show and there's nothing to combat that, like nothing at all.
Nah, you ain't got
for let's say that Nintendo shows Pokemon Direct and that they show some Pokemon. They show Pokemon, they show Animal Crossings. That's going to be big for people.
They show Reggie walking out the door.
Oh my God.
That's going to be big for people, but people really, it's about the third parties.
And he's like, I got to get out of here. Phil and tear E3 up.
Reggie conspiracy aside,
and I do think that to a point, people are going to Microsoft's, because a lot of things that these platform holders are used is like, okay, one of the incentives they use to do marketing is like, we'll give you time on our stage at E3. And like, you're not giving your third parties that advantage that you're doing the marketing with. Like, I would understand they didn't even do a conference, but they're not even on the floor for the fans that go to E3.
Right.
Like, and I feel like, the people that say, oh, they don't need to go E3, like, it's like, what world do you live in? Like,
sour grapes is what they got to deal with.
It's like they don't have to be there in terms of press conference. But I feel like it's an insult to not go there for your fans, to let them play your games on the floor.
They don't care about their fans. Stop talking like they care. They don't care. It's 100 million sold. Bro, we don't got to do anything.
Oh, my God. Anyway, so we got that out the way. Let's get to the news. We got a lot of time. So we're actually going to start off with something that kind of broke late in the week, and Inferno and I, we kind of alluded to it at the start of the podcast. So it seems Gearbox may have some major reveals for us. So it's come to our attention that Gearbox, obviously, the studio behind Borderlands, Brothers in Arms stuff, PAX East, man, it's coming, and there's an announcement right now at at Thursday on PAX that there's gonna have a show that's gonna take place between 2 and 3 p.m. And pretty much what they stated is pretty much that this is your opportunity to kind of see. What their statement is, you kind of opportunity to see a lot of the stuff behind the scenes and updates. And then it says the keywords: never before seen reveals, exclusives, and surprises. So don't miss out. What's up, Inferno? Someone talk?
No,
I heard someone.
No, that was me. That was Attic.
Oh, okay. Attic, you have something to say?
I was just saying, ones that they announce and it comes out the same year, like to this year.
Woo, it could be interesting, man. So everyone's is betting that this thing could be Borderlands 3, and this is most likely because
it's going to be Battleborn 2.
Oh my God, this guy's a hater. But mostly because, like I said, Take-Two, they promised a major franchise in the fiscal year and stuff like that. And obviously, we know it was kind of like a no-show last year. So I want to bring this to the table. I want to actually start off with Lord Inferno, our fellow Bostonian here. You know what I'm saying? So, man, what do you think about this news? Like about a possibility of Borderlands 3 returning?
Man, Man, let's just say that I'm glad that I only live 10 minutes away from the convention center, because if they announce this thing and it's playable, I'm going to have to run home for a change of pants. Am I right? But for real though, I think it is it. I mean, listen, they said they were working on it back in 2016. It's been 3 years now. Nothing to show. Like you said, big franchise coming this year. You know, they got to make a splash. It makes sense that they're doing it on the Thursday, you know, pretty early on. You know, they just added the 4th day last year to this thing, and right in that first day, you know, it doesn't make sense in terms of attendance because, you know, Thursdays usually are kind of light there at the show, but in terms of making a splash and getting the name out there right away, getting that news out there for everyone to talk about, all the press, it makes sense. And I don't know if it's going to be playable. I mean, that'd be awesome if it were playable. But you know, I think that they've obviously been working on it. It's about time. You know, Addicts joked around saying Battleborn 2. If Battleborn obviously underperformed significantly, I think they expected that to do a lot better. And I think maybe they were actually prepared to release this, you know, a little earlier, but they probably couldn't because of like the Destinies and the Anthems and the Divisions coming out, kind of changing the landscape of what that kind of game could be, you know, not necessarily thinking that Borderlands is going to take some notes from Destiny and become like a true looter shooter. But I mean, like, it was kind of the grandfather of those games, right? In a way. So maybe they were ready to kind of come out in one form, but then they saw what was going on with those other games and said, okay, you know, let's go back to the drawing board a little bit. Let's not release our trailers or anything. And let's, you know, maybe add some new elements to it that kind of fit in with what today's landscape is for looter shooters. So who knows?
Interesting. I hear what you're saying. So almost like you're almost coming with like they may reinvent themselves to an extent. It's kind of where you're going to.
Exactly. Show a little bit of evolution, because I think if they come out the gate, you know, with Borderlands 2.5, essentially, you know, people will like it, but it won't be. People will be asking, you know, what's new. You know what I mean? We don't want just 4 new Vault Hunters. You know, they want something new. You know, and something worth it. So I think
gotta call someone out in the chat. Shout out to Lord Anchor, man. He says, I call this the kiss of death, y'all. Remember this, y'all who watch this podcast. It's March 3rd.
Episode 101.
Episode 101. Anchorman V has given Borderlands 3 the kiss of death. He said it is the Destiny killer. Every game he says is the Destiny killer has failed. So here we go.
Shout out to Anthem.
He threw Anthem, he threw Fallout 76, he threw Division 1. All these were his Destiny killers. And now added to the unfortunate list is Borderlands 3.
The bushes calls thee.
Fallout 76 is a killer, but it's the Bethesda killer. It's not that Destiny killer.
Anyway, thank you, Inferno. I want to get let me get Assassins and Clowns. Let's get Assassins. What do you feel, man? Are you hype about this, man? If it's Borderlands 3?
Well, watch it not be Borderlands 3, and it's like Borderlands Battle Royale or remaster of the first game.
Assassin! Stop! Right now!
Don't do that. Don't do that. You would destroy me with that, Assassin. You know that?
We need more Battle Royale, baby.
You don't need no more mumble rap.
More Battle Royale.
But just think about it. Battle Royale with claptraps and psycho midgets.
That sounds awesome. Let's get it.
I mean, that sounds fun.
You know, it'd be even more awesome. Borderlands 3 plus Battle Royale.
Okay, no. I'm with you on that. If it's an additional mode, I'm with you.
I want it to be the only mode because I want to see the world burn.
Oh my god!
I can imagine LordCognito on Twitter after that's announced.
I'd be destroyed. Shout out to Slow Mo. He said, "I feel Borderlands 3 is in development hell. It's been supposed to be revealed so many times, it ends up not showing." So, Assassins, you really don't think you think this could be a battle royale game?
No, I don't think it's going to be a battle royale game. I was just throwing it out there. I think it might be a remaster of the first game, to be honest.
Really, almost like some Handsome Jack kind of thing. Like, what you think?
Because then, like, when the remasters come out, like if there was enough interest, they would throw that out. And I think a few months ago or whatever, it came up again or something. I don't.
No, you're right. You're right. It did.
If that happened, do you think people would be upset if it's just a remaster?
I think if they give it the love, like maybe Resident Evil 2 got, not to that extent, but gave it more love than here it's 1080p or 4K, and go play with it. You know, give it more love, and I think people would be all right and happy, but not like as happy as like, you know, Half-Life 3 came out. You know,
got you. Clowns, how excited are you about this potential possibility?
Oh man, if it came out, I'd be ecstatic. Like I'd just sit on that game forever, trying to create my own new guns constantly, you know, through the PC somehow. But yeah, I mean, I love that game. I still go back to Borderlands 2. Like I think it's one of the best games that has ever been created.
Agreed. I agree.
Oh, all right, King. I need to hear something because I don't know where you stand. As
long as you can pick up your guns and switch them off without going up to space and into the house, I'm good with that. Like, I'm gonna keep it real with you.
You in?
Yeah. As long as they don't add jetpacks to it and try to make it like it's a new crazy thing. Yeah, I think it's gonna be exactly what it is. My son plays Borderlands right now, so he finds it to be amazing. And with the million gun thing, I thought it was really nice. So I like the game, I like the storyline, and yeah, I would love some battle royale in there. Mix it a little battle royale, sprinkle it on top. I'm about that.
Big little crack on it. But let me ask you this though. Now, King, you kind of in that mode where, like, sometimes if a game doesn't have PvP and it's PvE only, you tend to throw it in the bushes. So could a PvE only Borderlands satisfy you?
No, hell to no. It won't satisfy me. You know why? And it's not only just for me, because really, all right, see, this is where my fraud meter comes in. Because yeah, exactly. I don't really pay PvP, but everybody on my gamers list does. So if Chris is playing, he's playing Trials or whatever. He's really pissed off with Destiny right now. That Trials joint.
Yeah, I'm living. We're living.
He is so pissed off, and I'm like, why? Because I don't get that part, right?
It's the hard have nothing, the equivalent of a Nightfall, no equivalent of a raid for the PvP community, and it sucks.
So that's what he wants, right? So, but usually when they're playing and they'll pull me in, I'll play with them. So, but when Mayhem comes up, oh man, Monkey in there, like we can average right now, like we can average, like so we'll jump in there. If you don't have that aspect of camaraderie, community, friendship type of thing, you get like 80 of your friends or 60 of your friends, and y'all go in and just wreck shop or have fun, like running tears. You know, we're on a 6-game winning streak. If you don't have that other aspect to your game and you just limit it to horde mode, I'm sorry, like the competitive nature of some people is so great that they need to dominate another person in order to achieve that level that they're looking for in their video game. So if it's not there, it's worthless.
No doubt. Now, Lord Addict, what's your history with the Borderlands series, and how excited are you if this is true?
I like the sirens. That's about all.
Thank you for your lack of contribution. I answered the damn question.
No, like that's literally all. Like I like the sirens, and that's pretty much like the only people I play in the games. And I never beat the second one. I don't think I've played much of the pre-sequel. I beat the first one. That's literally my entire history with Borderlands.
Really? So, all right, let me ask you the question I asked King though. What if what if it's Borderlands, right? But there's no PvP, no additional mode, this battle royale stuff you're talking about. Like, is that enough for you? Do you think, like, if they nail it?
Enough.
Okay, cool. So you think it's
as long as they show me good, unique characters, it's enough.
Well, hold on. Now I got to call fraud on you.
There's a lot of people calling fraud on him.
I got to call fraud on you because Slow-Mo's going in. Now, you have said in the past, without endgame and without raids, your enjoyment of said looter shooters is in the bush.
This is different than that. Like, no, this is an online community thing. Like, this is just something I don't consider them two the same looter shooter. Like, if anything, I would consider the Division and Destiny and stuff like the more centric MMO loot shooter than your standard just go and kill the people, grinding for guns. Like, that's completely. I don't even consider them the same game at all. Like.
It's almost like a first-person dungeon crawler almost instead of a looter shooter.
Yeah, like that's. I feel like the atmosphere of Borderlands has sold the game probably just as much as the looter shooter aspect.
I I can feel you on that. The humor, the dark humor. I remember we used to like Tales from the Borderlands, the Telltale game that kind of introduced us to that whole, narrative for people who never play. At least for me.
I honestly don't understand how you could even compare Destiny or The Division or Anthem to Borderlands. Like, just because like you have that aspect of getting loot does not mean that they're the same game.
Yeah,
not even a little bit.
I guess why I get people make that association because they kind of originated that whole thing, right? Inferno with the loot and having the same gun but different roles, and it could just behave so fundamentally different, and it's unique with the properties and stuff. But I see what you're saying, Egg. Addict. I see what you're saying, like in the sense that it's different, and still, even though it's in the looter shooter genre, it's its own kind of space. All right, yeah, I'll jump in real quick, man. Yeah, huge surprise when I heard the news. I mean, definitely long overdue. The Borderlands community has been waiting for a long time. I'm dying to see like if they take what they do, like if they put a new take on it. We all consider it kind of like the OG, the granddaddy of the looter shooters. I remember like missing out on launch. It had like that cell shaded look, you know what I'm saying? But I did like the humor, it's the unique loot. Co-op was lit. I want to see if they evolve on that. You know what I'm saying? I think the game's going to do really, really well. And Inferno, the Lord's going to be in the building at PAX for this one. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be front row. I'm gonna grab Inferno. We got that seat. King gonna be right. We gonna do this thing, man. We're gonna see. And last question: do you guys think this year release? Anybody?
Probably. Probably. I think that they kind of have to, right? If they want to get it out on these consoles, right?
I think there's two possibilities to go. One, they announce a Borderlands 1 remake, and then they announce an E3 of Borderlands 3.
Fair enough.
Because I feel like a Borderlands 3 is E3 worthy, and it's weird.
It is. Now here's the thing: if that's the case,
because you would think the platform holders would kill to try to promote that game.
That's what I was saying. Who do you think
it obviously it would have to be on if it's going to be an E3, it's on Microsoft stage. So.
Tell him, Phil. Tell him, Phil. What you got?
What do you think, man? You think the marketing rights might go to Microsoft, or if it does come out?
Yeah, that's a tough question. It's hard to say because I think Borderlands can stand on its own without anyone needing marketing rights.
But someone's always going to get the marketing rights, regardless if you could stand on your own. Someone's getting the marketing rights.
But
I don't think
if Red Dead Redemption 2 gave the PlayStation marketing rights, every game can get marketing rights.
That's in a year where they were going to E3. Now, when you up there, what is your bargaining chip? Like, we're going to promote you. Where are you going to promote us? Where? Because you're not going to be there. So where are you going to promote us at?
So you think by default, that's what it is?
By default, Microsoft's going to get scoop up a lot of stuff by default. That stage is going to be lit.
He says Microsoft has them, though. He thinks. I'm not sure if anyone has confirmation that Microsoft has the rights. I'm not sure. Anyone?
Tell them about it, baby.
Not that I know of.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything either. But going into next gen, it wouldn't surprise me if Microsoft did do that for next gen. If they're going to start promoting next gen.
I think, if you want my opinion, I think they're going to start laying off of those kinds of deals. I don't think they're going to do a whole lot of third-party deals much going into next gen.
I think that was their mistake this generation, losing those third-party deals. I agree with you too, but the direction they're going doesn't make me think they're gonna like double down on third parties. Like it seems like they've invested so much in the first parties that they're kind of like they're not going away from the console market, but they're not highlighting it either. So.
Fair enough. All right, so we'll see what happens. But that's all I got on Borderlands. Extremely excited. Once the news broke, we'll see what happens. Lord Addict, what is going on with Nintendo, man? Is Pokemon doing something? Did they announce something?
Yeah. So first off, I want to point out that it's a shame. I think Lord Sovereign's frauding up here, and he didn't want to show up to the.
That's the reason why he didn't show up.
And he didn't want to be on trial and have me throw the flamethrower on him, but it's okay. I'm sure. Don't think you're going to dodge that. I will bring it up next week.
No doubt.
But I want to point out some of these lords. When we did this.
Mm-hmm. That's my Pokemon. I'm gonna get that Pokemon. Oh,
And when I pointed out, I was like, this isn't the kind of Pokemon game that I would like. And a couple lords, I ain't gonna point out the name. Was like, it's not your Pokemon, it's our Pokemon.
Yeah, we just did it. We just did it.
What's funny is LordCognito just picked up Pokemon. I don't know if he's picked it up yet, but
yeah, thanks to Lord Assassin. He hooked me up with a nice deal for the price it was worthy of.
The funny thing is people want to come in here and act like this Switch game is real, and I need more Switch games than you Switch people.
Listen, fam. Listen, at the end of the day, you may
He said you wildin'.
You ain't buy more.
You wildin'. You may play a lot, but you ain't got a lot.
You ain't got it.
So now we're debating on how much you buy, not what you beat.
That's right. I'm soft.
Anyway, who here beat Zelda?
I did. You know, I beat it with the help. You ain't like me. You see all the dudes up there? All those dudes chipped in. Every last one of them dudes chipped in. They was about all of that switching. Like, I sat there with every last one of these dudes on the table and put them in and got all the loot. Every last one of these dudes is a contributor to my success.
All of them for the very last.
Yeah, listen, look at them. You see, I got them their own shelf. They put in work.
That's the Breath of the Wild Hall of Fame.
Ganon had King against the wall, and he's like, "Hold up, Ganon, let me get him an amiibo." 1 second.
Check it out. These dudes have dropped me rare items to bust the boss upside their head. Shout out to every last one of you dudes. Y'all are real MVPs. I swear. Yeah, baby. Hell yeah, that's what amiibos do.
Out of the way that Lord King likes using cheat codes.
That's right. They all right there. Cheat code number 1, Alpha 1. Cheat code. Get that.
I just there's been a new Pokemon game announced. Weird. It's called Sword and Shield. I don't know what that's about. Apparently, there's some rumor that there's going to be like, instead of mega evolutions, it's going to be like armored evolutions, which I have no clue what that means. But this game looks like it's went away from the Let's Go trash features that they put in the last.
Do I get a chance to use him?
Oh my god!
This is what I'm saying. Like, do I get a chance to use him? Is it Pokemon really? Let's go. Let's go, Pokemon for real.
Continue.
You don't even know the evolved form of that amiibo.
Long. Hey, listen. Long as I can use my amiibos in it, you in trouble. I got a head start on you right now.
Do we know if there's amiibo functionality in Inferno?
There's probably going to be.
It's going to have an advantage.
I'm gonna buy it for sure.
Just a quick shout out. So, King, if you need to add to your collection, 5 and below now sells amiibos too.
Oh, bro, you should have never told me that. I'm going right there to the store today.
But they announced a new Pokemon game. It's Sword and Shield. It's probably going to come out this year. I would be very surprised if it didn't. New region, new Pokemon. They announced the 3 starters. The
Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah, that's pretty much what they are. Like, one thing I wanted to point out about these new Pokemon, because there's been like leaks and evolution trees of a bunch of them. Like, they look weird, man. Like, it is very apparent that they've ran out of ideals.
Oh yeah,
like, it looks like one is just a ninja when he's younger. He gets older, he gets a little bit bigger, and he gets a sword in his 3rd evolution. Like, I kid you not.
Yo, shout out to Inferno. You showed me the likeness of what it looked like they were taking inspiration from Inferno.
Oh yeah. A little bit of inspiration. I mean, when we were talking about this on 4GwQPodcast on Thursday, I suggested that they may have a little bit of a lawsuit on their hands or something. Like, it's so similar, man. It's way too close.
Gotta see this
way too close
that he's got, man. I gotta find it. It was amazing how crazy. Let me get a Assassin in there and then King. Assassin, like, what do you feel, man? Where you at with Pokemon Sword and Shield? Where you at?
I mean, it just looks like another Pokemon game to me. Like, the last Pokemon game I played was probably Pokemon Stadium on the N64. So I've been really rusty on Pokemon.
Gotcha. They make a Pokemon Stadium for the Switch. I'd buy it.
Okay,
definitely.
So, what does a traditional RPG Pokemon excite you, though, Assassin? Like, where you at with that?
Well, I'm dying to play like a Pokemon game, right? I'm saving up for a Switch, and I heard the Pokemon game, that whatever it's called, is okay. It's not great. So having like a
It
traditional
was just a Pokemon game. It didn't raise the bar. It didn't lower it. Well, it kind of lowered it a little bit, but like not dramatically.
Okay.
Fair enough. No doubt. And Lord King, are we amiiboing all the way through?
Listen, if they say they got amiibo functionality, guess who's there? Guess who's showing up? This guy is. And I'm going to 5 and below today. You bet that. Anything I don't have, I will have. If you got it, I'm going to get it. Best believe that part. And I'm going to get in there with the fraudery. I'm going to jump levels ahead of you. I'm going to come out there with the strongest form of that character and bust you right upside your head.
Hold on, you want to play me in it?
Oh,
you're going to yell out, foul! Foul! He's using illegal steroids on the His Pokemon came in big buff.
No, man. Like, look. I will let you use anything you want.
Shut up, lying, man. You already lost your knees. Just be quiet. like you sitting here really gonna tell me
if you wanted to conversation, that's fine.
Listen, Addict, listen. This is where I'm saving you from yourself, all right? Because I'm gonna save you from yourself. If they said that I can use amiibos, so you best believe I'm gonna use them. I'm going to get in the game with a buff character. You're going to come in with your little level 1 character. My character going to have some type of magical extra, and I'm going to use it on you, and you're going to yell out, "Ow!"
You got to, what are we doing this? Because I got to beat you like a bandit. I got to beat you with cheat codes.
You've been trying to get your knees back forever.
Why do you keep bringing that up? Why won't you put it?
Okay, check it out. Listen. If it got amiibo functionality, I'm going to get it.
Okay.
And I'll play you with that buffed up amiibo card. And I'm going to beat the brakes off of you. And I don't want to hear, help me. I can't feel my legs because I'm taking your kneecaps again. You ain't going to never get your kneecaps. It's going to be like 2025. You're going to still be out here on roller skates. So I think you really should just leave me alone. I really think you should. I'm telling you, I'm going to cheat. I'm telling you ahead of time. I'm gonna cheat, and you're sitting here saying I'm with the cheat.
100% real with you, Lord King.
So, are you still willing to take this with amiibo functionality?
He can use all the amiibos he wants. He can send me a link in there if he wants.
We're gonna put this live on screen. I'm gonna have you screaming on live, and you're gonna cut your camera. You're gonna rage quit. You're gonna bust your controller up. You're gonna be mad at me because I told you ahead of time.
Okay. Let me explain to you how this is gonna go. All right,
get him.
So right now, King's being extra because King's extra. But what's gonna happen is the podcast after this showdown happens. The first thing coming out of this man's mouth is gonna be, "This is a game he's been playing his whole life, though." So did we really expect you to lose it?
Y'all see this, right? Y'all see him, right?
Yeah.
All right. I want y'all to see him now, right? Listen. When they say put your amiibo on the screen, that's gonna be me, right? And I'm gonna phase him in. He's gonna power up, and they're gonna be like, "New amiibo just launched in the match." And that's when your behind is done.
And so I don't care what you ain't gonna have nothing to do with it.
You out here actively seeking L's. So I've never seen nobody actively search for an L, but I'm gonna sprinkle that sauce all on your body. I'm telling you right now. I'm pretty sure I got You woke up this morning looking for the L. You got it. It's coming your way.
Anchorman says, that's the ultimate kiss of death on ILP. Whoever sides with Addict takes on a bet is doomed.
This bro right here, you are gonna get flame broiled. Oh, why would you do that in your game? I'm gonna make you hate your game. Like, that is so stupid. Like, your purchase, you're not gonna like it.
I've got to be clear. You're gonna take this. If this game gives him that much of it, you're gonna take it. I gotta
Cognito. He said, "I'm gonna fight Mike Tyson on steroids."
They might give him Pokemon theme, but at the end of the day, it's gonna be coming on with your counters, what you pull back, what you attack with. You ain't gonna have.
I'm gonna beat you into submission with the one I got that's the strongest.
Look, I'll beat you up a level 100 Magic Carp. I don't even care. Like,
here you go. Wow. Fantasy thoughts. That's what you thought was gonna happen in that Naruto, and I'll bust your behind in there too. Yo, Cognito, all he kept saying is, "You keep doing the same damn move."
Did you win that encounter?
Yes, I did.
Did
That's
you
the
win?
problem. I ain't
Did you win the whole encounter?
Yo, Cognito.
Did you win the whole encounter? Stop diverting. Did you win the whole
Yes.
encounter?
You won one match. You got out here with one match.
Look at that. Look at
that. I'm not gonna front. This guy's suffering with Alzheimer's, and I'm telling you right now, I got perfect memory, bruh. You ain't that nice, and I'm gonna come in there with an advantage. I don't care. You know, I'm trying to save you from yourself. I was trying to be nice king this 2019. I'm trying to, you know, nice king. I'm gonna swallow you whole. Pause. You're done, man. You're done. You're done.
Addict Neo Mental say he better hope they don't have Pokemon Go support.
You're done. That's it.
I mean, it is what it is. He don't even have Pokemon Go.
Anyway, let's get the rest of the 4 quarters in here, man. Lord Inferno and LordCognito, man. I need your feedback. Pokemon Sword and Shield, gentlemen.
You know,
okay.
yeah, it's just another Pokemon game, so it's I'm not that excited for it.
Not excited. I feel you, bro. I feel you. You wait for that price to go down too?
Yeah.
Oh,
more like the $5 bargain bin.
Hey, give me that link, man. I'm with you on that point. You know, Inferno, but nah, Inferno's hype, man. You ready for this, right?
I am ready for this. I didn't get the Let's Go because, you know, when they were advertising that and they were showing off like that little Pokeball thing that you like throw, you switch, but not really. And I was like, okay, this isn't a real Pokemon game. This is just some kid stuff. But as I'm talking about Pokemon, right? But anyway, what were you saying, Attic? Go ahead.
I said that's all Pokemon Let's Go was fluff.
Exactly. Right. There you go. That's perfect. Fluff. But this is the real thing. I'm excited for it. I really wish it were like, you know, a throwback to the old school kind of stuff, but I know they're going to introduce some like new school, you know, like this armored evolution thing that he was talking about. Yeah. Just keep it simple. Keep it like the tried and true formula. Like, but I know they're going to go off the deep end a little bit, which is going to hamper my enjoyment a little bit, but I'm hyped. Day one on it.
No doubt. Yeah, man. I've been pretty much the same as the rest of the Lords here in the panel. I mean, I'm just happy for Addict and you in the sense that this is kind of the hardcore game that you guys want. You know what I mean? So you got your random Pokemon encounters, the wild Pokemon, the gyms are back too, right?
Yep.
The
Back.
gyms are on the other one.
Now I got one question for you hardcore Pokemon dudes. How come like they got the outfits this year, right? But how come they don't got the character creator to let you customize your face and everything so you could be in the game? I never understood that. I always felt like that's a missed opportunity that I can't be myself.
Nintendo?
Yeah, like, I don't know. Oh, wow. Yo, $10 super chat. Jonathan B. King of Statues is fire. But now we need King of Amiibo. Why does Anthem always get slandered in the super chat? In the bushes.
Yo, Jonathan B. Right there. That one.
Sorry to interrupt you real quick, King. I want some hashtag Anthem in the bushes.
Yo,
in the chat. I want some legit. King, you gotta help me, man. We gotta get these people put some hashtag in the bushes Anthem in that chat.
Yo, Jonathan, that right there is premium format Batman figure exclusive. That's gonna be an unboxing soon, so you're gonna get a chance to see that. And I'm gonna do a whole Amiibos and whatchamacallit, Disney Infinity launch through. I'm gonna sit there and do that, but it's gonna be like a slideshow so you can see every last one of them, you know. Because there's so many of them. So
but yeah, man, I just always felt that was like a missed opportunity with the character created thing. Regardless, man, my feelings and whatever, this thing is gonna sell like hotcakes. Like Nintendo, you know, once they they're never gonna put this on sale. You know, my feelings about that. But nah, man, listen, at the end of the day, this is gonna win. You know, they're looking for that Q4 release date, kind of similar to what they did with Smash, kind of killer retail, killer MPD. And what's crazy is them announcing it so early because I thought they were going to use this as their ace in the hole for E3, kind of what they did with Smash as a whole Smash Direct. So that gets me excited that E3 might be something else. Hopefully another Pokemon Part 2.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the Direct was like very bare. I mean, wouldn't you agree, Attic, that it was kind of bare? So I mean, they have plenty of stuff.
They announced Super Smash Brothers before they dedicated a whole E3 to it.
Oh no, you scaring me. Don't say that. Like, so you said because of how bare it was, there's a chance they could do another in-depth.
Without a doubt, dude, it's coming. In-depth Pokemon bundles, dude. Exclusive bundles coming. They're gonna detail those. Like, it's coming. Yeah,
I would say the odds of it not being. I think that their E3 is going to be dedicated to Animal Crossing and Pokemon, and that's all you're going to see is those two.
I just don't want the 15-minute Pokemon breakdown.
I think E3 is going to be dedicated to Game Pass.
Ooh.
I think this is the year that you're going to get that sideshow merger with the Xbox little show and the Treehouse.
So here's the thing, though: is Phil going to walk on their stage or Doug Bowser?
Yeah, well,
and Microsoft stage.
Yo, okay, so this is how I think. You remember when they did that joint with Ubisoft and Miyamoto came out?
That was lit. Yes,
right.
Yes.
And it was awesome, right? But it felt like, wow, that's kind of different when they did it, and that was like a prelude of what's coming next, the new direction of Nintendo, because we didn't think that they would do it in that fashion with that game, and that game was really good. So honestly, if Game Pass is going to be on the Switch and it's going to be announced in a big way, you're bringing top tier graphics to the Switch. Okay, so that's going to be talked about, and it has to be talked about in a big fashion. Of course, you're going to cross promote. This is probably the year that Nintendo shows up on the E3 stage. Remember, they stepped away from E3 and they've been doing directs. So you might see Miyamoto on the stage just to confirm the partnership. Because if it's going forward, I mean, there's a lot of tea leaves. They keep leaving breadcrumbs and showing you going forward, they're going to do this thing. It has to be announced in such a big way that is a huge success and is beneficial for both.
Yo, shout out to Meds in the chat. He agrees King is right. He thinks it's gonna be Game Pass. Shout out to Slow Mo, my Astral Chain gang. Yeah, man. Astral Chain look lit, man. I can't wait. Hopefully show that. You know what I'm saying? And Nintendo, yo, don't give. Oh my God, Ink is out of control. He said they announced Metro 4 like 2 years in advance. He said Smash 1 year. We gonna see, man. And then he says, I need to see Doug Bowser in a Bowser costume walk up to Phil while he's wearing Chief's armor and them shake hands.
Wow.
I'm done with him. Wow. Anyway. That's all I got on that. But yeah, we're gonna move it on, man. Some news kind of
notice if it would have been something else about Switch, that this man would have talked about the Switch for the next 30 minutes. He would have went into some kind of you know what's really good? It's portable, man. You know, the indie sells so well on the Switch. We would have heard that for another 20 minutes. But so, Pokemon, we got to move on quick.
We got to move on. He got a lot of show to talk about. Listen, that's for you. You know I'm like fraud with that. You know, so at the end of the day, it's just too much. It's $60 is not a $60 game for me. But that's just my opinion. I know I'm in the minority. Many people are going to buy this game outside of me. Kids move in the chat. What y'all talking about? We talking about Halo right now. Right in time, kid. So anyway, yeah, man, we got some news, man. So shout out to Ryan McCaffrey, the Unfiltered series. She had Bonnie Ross on, and the head of 343. And a little bit was talked about this Halo Infinite, man. And I want to bring this to the Lord. So it looks like Bonnie, she was talking about, you know, the 343, I guess their trials and tribulations with each, you know, iteration. Some things they did good, some things they did bad. And then she kind of dropped what I consider a bombshell, Inferno. And she talked about they're looking at Halo Infinite as a spiritual reboot to the series. So I wanted to bring this to the Lords. Obviously, we know about the trailer. Hold on. Shout out to Kiss Moon with the $5 super chat. Anything to these Nintendo characters being on the Xbox dashboard? I don't know, brother. You got to tell me. I didn't even know about that. That is new. But yeah, I want to bring this to the Lords as far as Bonnie Ross. And let's start with Inferno. You know, when you think of Halo Infinite, we all saw the trailer. You know, what do you think about the potential of this to be a spiritual reboot of the franchise?
Well, what's interesting is that I think she used her words very carefully by saying spiritual reboot, right? Everyone's kind of questioning what that means. I've heard some theories, you know, I don't think necessarily they're going to, you know, go away from the canon of Halo and like reverse. I think by saying spiritual reboot, it's just essentially saying, okay, we're going to go back to what worked. You know what I mean? We're going to go back to what people resonated with, like Halo 5, right? Like, obviously that didn't work for a lot of people. Prometheans didn't work for a lot of people. You know, I'm hearing people. What did you say? Sorry. What?
Foul. I was like, Lock ain't worked for a lot of people. I'm fine. Continue. Pay me no mind. I'm throwing shade. Continue. Throwing shade on Lock.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, exactly. Like Lock. People want to go back to the glory days, but not. You know, obviously it didn't Master Chief Collection, so we've already revisited the glory days literally. But in terms of like the atmosphere, the feel of Halo. They want everything to return back to the glory days, obviously, and they want to assure the hardcore people that, you know, the direction that Halo 5 looked like it was going in, that it's not. I think they're gonna just regroup here, go back to the drawing board a little bit, and maybe not take it in that original direction like they were considering. So I think that's what they mean by spiritual reboot, not necessarily, you know, like we're gonna go back to Halo 1 again, you know.
Got you. Shout out to Johan Zell in the chat and Kid Smooth. They just sent me a link. So apparently multiple Nintendo characters have appeared in a mixer banner on the Xbox One dashboard. This is check out NintendoLife.com.
Yeah, Splatoon characters, right?
Yeah, it looks like, Marina from Splatoon 2. She was out there, and Nintendo characters now show on the Xbox One mixer banner includes Isabelle, Princess Peach, Lucina, and Inkling Girl from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and there is evidence. So maybe something is
shout out to my man Phil out here slinging them.
This is crazy. This is big. Check that out. NintendoLife.com. Thank you, Johan Zell. Thank you, Kid Smooth. That's crazy. But anyway, let's get focused back on Halo. But so you're thinking, again, just to recap, Inferno, you're thinking is this, when she's saying spiritual reboot, just kind of going back to the roots, but not necessarily rebooting the franchise where you're going.
Right, exactly. I think, you know, I think they would be foolish to go back in time and go do this again, you know, go do the Halo thing again. Obviously, Halo Master Chief Collection, you know, wasn't too great out of the gate, but that's because of bugs and stuff. The idea was great. A lot of people loved playing those games again, me included. I know a lot of people who ran through those campaigns again loved the good old days, and I think they got positive reinforcement of that by, you know, how many people actually did play through those campaigns. They have those numbers, and I think that the numbers were actually pretty high on that. So that's why I think they're kind of revisiting the drawing board a little bit and not necessarily like progressing the evolution of the gameplay. Maybe they're going to go back to some of the old mechanics or something like that.
Interesting.
If they progress too much, I won't pick up Infinite.
Right. Yeah.
Like I'm tired of this thing where people act like, you know, putting sprinting in a 21st century game is a bad thing. I'm sorry, like
the core gameplay. Don't you touch my Halo.
Like, and what's funny is people want to sit here and blame 343, but failed to, you know, apparently they have been playing this game long because the people who introduced sprinting in Halo was Bungie on Reach. But people want to act like 343 invented that. Like, no, it was in Reach.
You know, everyone's saying we Halo reaching today. Shout out to Jonathan V. People think we're looking into that whole Mixer thing. It's just Mixer. That's a streaming app. People, you know, some people. Hold on, Johan Zell said, "Nah, when it's smoke, there's fire. This is no longer fire. It's lit." So we gonna see. But let's get over to the Clowns, man. Clowns, man. What do you think about Bonnie's statement in reference to, you know, Halo being a spiritual reboot?
You know, it's hard for me to say because I've never been like a hardcore Halo fan. So I really don't understand the universe as well as some of the Xbox fans out there. One thing I will say, though, is that I hope they keep Cortana like on kind of like that mischievous, evil god complex path.
Well, supposedly they're not going to. No, if you haven't played Halo 5 in 4 years, then you just need to go.
That's the best.
But apparently, they're not going to stop that storyline. They're going to continue where they left off of Halo 5. I think this is mainly going to be for the most part. We're going to see some gameplay changes, like Inferno said.
No doubt. Shout out to the Geeky Nerd. He said, "Bring on Atriox." That's your man, Addict, right? That's your man.
Yeah, Atriox is a beast. They would be dumb if they didn't use his character.
Interesting, no doubt. So Clown, just to reiterate, you're not sure. You just wait where you at.
Yeah, I'm just at the point where I really don't know what they can do with Halo because I'm not so involved into their universe. I don't understand it completely. I just know that, you know, the UNSC are like humans, and then there's floods, and they kill them, and you know, all that kind of stuff. So,
what could get you invested, Clouds?
If Cortana stays on the path like Attic says she's gonna, and she has the intent on destroying mankind. And working with maybe the Prometheans or something, that'd be kind of cool.
Well, no, the Prometheans already joined forces with her.
Okay. Yeah, so I love it even more right now. Keep going, Attic. Keep going, Lord Attic.
What I think's going to happen is Atriox and Cortana is going to manipulate Atriox.
Now, the
thing is,
on Atriox, a lot of people that didn't play
Atriox is a banished brute that was before the human war. The Covenant was actually fighting him for longer than they fought the human.
Atriox is so powerful, he's killing Spartans, right? He's that dude, right?
He's fighting 3 Spartans at once, and he's mowing all.
That cinema you showed me was ill in Halo Wars 2.
All 3 of them. Yeah, what I think they're gonna do, because here's the thing, Cortana wants to use the rings, but at the same time, she don't want to kill Master Chief. That's why she tried to capture him at the end of 5. She was trying to preserve him. She didn't want him dying. But he got away, and she's not going to shoot those rings until she has secured him. So who's the perfect person to do that without killing him? Atriox.
That's what's up.
I think that's what's going to happen. I think you're going to see a movement with Arbiter, because I think he's going to go in here. So, you know, we'll have to see.
Brab said they should replace Cortana with Alexa. Stop it. Y'all out of control. No, man. Let's get Assassin and King in here, man. What you think, man? Reboot, spiritual reboot? Where you at?
I would like to see them do somewhat like Sony Santa Monica did with God of War.
My man, Assassin. Oh, you stole my point. Damn it. That was
with that. Don't you do that?
Like, I mean, have like Halo be more of a like Metro Exodus, right? It's open world, but it has like sections. You know, you can do side things, but like a normal open world. But then it's a little more linear, like the Halo games.
I'm so with you. You literally. I'm gonna jump in, man, because I literally was gonna say that when it was getting.
Oh no, you last. That's
all right. I'm
last. You last. You gonna have to wait.
Good.
All right. So first of all, it says catch 343 Studios head Bonnie Ross tonight on 60 Minutes to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Pacific Time, discussing the importance of STEM education for girls. All right. So she'll be on tonight. So y'all can catch that. All right, if y'all are Bonnie Ross's fans, which I'll be watching today. I don't think that Halo Infinite is what y'all think it is. I don't think it has anything to do with the lineage of Halo 1 through 5. I don't think so. I think it's going to be a open world Halo game where probably you raise up Spartans and you become a Spartan. And you can get to level up. It'd be like an RPG type of game where you have an open world where it's Halo Infinite, the infinite possibilities of you as your own Spartan, taking on these RPG elements. Because when you have big studios that they're purchasing and they can work in collaboration and actually give you something definitely different from what you've been getting before. All right, because the shouts and the cries has been, oh, Halo is the same old Halo and it's boring, right? All right, so we'll give you Halo Infinite, where they wanted it to expand. They want to reach all those worlds that's out there that you can go to. Now, could you imagine you getting into a ship and you're going over to another world and there's other missions and the stuff that you have to do as a Spartan and you're figuring out stuff and you can band up with your team. And it has different.
I see where you're going.
Well, I mean, if they do that, they would have to. It'd have to be a pre-sequel, like.
Right.
Yeah, and I believe that they're going to work. In spiritual successor is not going to be as a successor to the next one. It's going to be in the spirit of Halo. This game will be there. I don't really think it's going to be, because did you notice that Spartan that they showed? People thought it was like Master Chief, but his legs were a little skinny.
Oh my
right,
God.
And yeah, when you looked at it, it looked like the armor was really, it was like a different kind of armor. So I really don't believe that that's how the game is going to be. Then you saw some of the military dudes riding out. I really honestly believe that you're going to have your choice of characters that you want to be. You can enhance them, different stuff like that. I think that is incredibly a better idea than just another sequel to Halo. Now, you can also have another sequel to Halo coming out for those people that want that shooter to get that fix out. But this is where we're taking it, because we want to reach a broadband. Like, you can just jump in and play it. Now, if you're playing, could you imagine this, right? It's in Game Pass. You're playing it on your Switch. You jump in, play your character, go to a planet, do some RPG stuff. You log back off, but you can log back on your PC or whatever, and your character is going with you. So I think it's going to be something completely different from the regular shooter that we get from Halo.
I get that, but I don't know. Like part of me,
I know where you're going at it because I want to ask King this, and I want to get kicked up. My thing is because of all the flack that they got last year, right? I mean, last Halo, in sense of you didn't play Master Chief enough, right? That was the flack in the narrative aspect. So my thing is, do you think with Infinite they can get away with you not playing as Chief again? Because I think that was what really upset people, right? They was like, I don't want to play Locke, I don't want to play his team.
Make your own Chief.
So
put your own face, scan your own face, do you make your own character?
Okay, so what about you're comfortable with no Master Chief, no John 1-1?
I'm comfortable with
if they don't do Master Chief, I'm saying it right now, the game's gonna flop.
Okay, right. Here's where that theory might work, and this is the part, right? You want them to do something to elevate it so it can live on.
Right.
This can separate them exactly from Bungie. This will separate 343 completely away from Bungie if they take it into a different area. Could you imagine you launching onto a planet and you have your gun, you walking through, and you don't know what's going on, but you radio into your guys in a Halo Destiny type of feel, but is actually a real open world where there's RPG elements and you're leveling up. What did you get? What gun did you get? Drop me that gun. And you know that stuff is Destiny-esque. Because remember, they wanted them to do Destiny in that vein, and Bungie wanted to do Destiny.
Right.
So if you can actually get that game that you originally planned with that RPG elements, with all that stuff to keep the longevity going, that they can constantly reinvest in, that this game is always being played in Game Pass. See, because a Halo is beginning to end done, right? But Halo Infinite is infinitely playing with new content being dropped in weekly, monthly, or whatever.
Turning on you hard in the chat.
Yeah, because y'all don't want
Halo. We out. They was like, Native was like, no,
you don't want it. Don't fight it. Don't fight it. Just accept it. Because you didn't want CDs. You wanted your cartridges. You got CDs. The evolution. You wanted to hold on to your CDs. Now you got digital download. Stop fighting it and just take it. Because you want to play that old Halo, go load in the remaster. You want to play Master Chief? It's right there for you. You don't play it, but you don't play it. You understand? And that's where the fraud comes in, because they launched the remaster and you didn't buy it and you didn't play it. So now they say, we got to get this market, because you got to think about what's going to keep generations going in Game Pass. That game would.
That is too funny, man. Listen, I don't know, man. This is
watch this E3, and y'all gonna look at me. Y'all gonna come back and say, "Capture him because he knows too much. He's from the future." And I told you what was gonna happen. I told you how Phil was gonna move, and y'all sitting here, y'all fronting on me.
Let me bring it back. Let me bring it back before I get answer. I gotta bring it back to the Lords of the quarters here. Like, do you think Assassin? Start with Assassin Inferno. Like, do you think they can get away with not being Chief in Infinite?
Absolutely. If they have a lot of lore and
because it works so well for 5.
Could let Assassin continue.
Yeah. If the game features a lot of lore, the game's addictive, and all this other stuff, and it's actually good, they can get away with it. Maybe some of the diehard Halo fans maybe won't appreciate it, but
got you. Okay, so you think they can do it? Inferno. I need answers, man.
You know, I gotta be honest. The more I hear King talk about this, the more I'm kind of on King. Yeah, the more I'm on King's side on this, and I think they could bring Chief in as like a mentor to like your building up of your Spartan. You know what I mean? He could be like the mentor character of your created character.
I think you guys secretly want this franchise to die.
If you hold on to the old diatribes of what's going on in the old dogma, you are never going to evolve. They have to evolve. It has to change. Do you understand the people that probably went in there? And a lot of you guys love that God of War. Y'all love the direction that it went in. I'm an old fogey. I hated it. Yeah. But there's a whole ton of people that said, man, that was genius. So when that happens, you know it's going to be a lot of young people that didn't play that Halo 1
So
when it came out.
so you're so upset that how God of War went. You want them to butcher Halo for me now.
I don't think you were online with me when I purchased Halo 1. I don't believe that you were day one and turned on your light on your gun and saw and looked around the wall to understand what the Halo feel
I got more
is.
time in Halo than Pro.
I'm not asking you if you have more time.
Look,
I'm telling
I
you,
have mad hours in all the Halos. Okay,
Right,
that
I
is not
believe-
what the franchise needs.
talking about more time in multiplayer.
Let me tell
This
you,
is what you're talking about.
yo, the chat is very conflicted. Slow Mo's with you though, King. He said they can introduce a new generation Spartan, make one of them. You get to create your character. You know, Shiz no elite.
But that's completely against the lore. Like completely.
Okay, I'm just telling you what the chat is saying. They want Halo to evolve. The NLG's thing. He says, no, King, God of War still had Kratos though.
Yes, Kratos was no longer black. Kratos was white.
Shut up. Clowns. I'm gonna get Clown. I see we got another Lord in the building that's just joined. So Clowns first. Do you think they can get away without Master Chief and Infinite?
Yeah, and a lot of people are going to hate me for this, okay? And I'm going to be completely 100% honest. I think it's time for Master Chief to retire or die and spawn somebody new in his place, for this new generation. Master Chief could always come back in like different pieces, maybe his brain in the computer or something, but I think it's time, dude. I just think it's time.
Okay, let me ask you
out with the old and with the new.
Woo!
Name me a couple games where about 5-6 games in, they just changed the main antagonist and it went well.
I'm not saying this is what you're confusing.
No, I want examples of where this works.
I hear what you're talking about. Okay, this is where I'm not addressing that part because you're addressing something that you're holding on to. What I'm saying is I don't think this game is what you perceive it to be. I perceive the game to be something completely. You have to look at the models that they're going forward with. Consistently playing engagement level games. That game that you're talking has a beginning and has an end. There's no persistence in playing. That doesn't work with the model of Game Pass going forward to keep people engaging, logging in, and playing. So if you're giving them something that's why the Infinite is so important in the name.
Okay, so you looking at that narratively.
No, I already got you there because they actually did say after Halo 5 that they're no longer. No, they said before Halo 5 dropped that they're not numbering any of their games anymore. It's always going to be Halo 5, Halo Guardians, Halo Infinite. You can ask Kid. Like they said that at the beginning of the generation.
Speaking of which, we got a Lord Smooth in the building dropping some Halo knowledge on us, man. What do you think? There's a lot of hot and contested debate in here about Halo, man.
You guys, I have the unpopular opinion. So I actually was Team Lock. So, yeah.
Wow. Let's
the
go.
thing is, I feel Halo can. The way they can do it is just that the only way they can do it is if Master Chief is not present at all.
Yeah.
Like how they did with Reach.
Got you.
So Reach was a successful Halo game that didn't feature no parts of Chief. Same thing with ODST, featured no Chief at all. Guardians probably would have been successful if it wasn't Halo 5 Guardians. It should have just been Halo Guardians and kept Chief out. The hunt could have been for Chief, but not had you featured Chief at all. The game would have probably fared much better if you never pretty much found Chief, right? And you played the whole game through locking that whole team.
Right.
And I feel like now it would be okay. The problem is Halo Infinite can't be that because of the promises they made after Halo 5 Guardians. They made too many say, we're going to focus on Chief. We're not going to make that mistake again. So it's like the only way they can really do it because they can pull out Infinite, which could be an awesome game and not feature Chief at all. But then you'll be like, well, what happened to Chief? You know what I mean? Like, how long are you going to delay that?
Got you. Right. So you think they can't? So basically, what you're saying, you think they can't afford to go another Halo franchise right now?
I think Halo's got they don't got another one. Like if 343 don't correct the boat,
it's a wrap.
This game, it's a wrap because the fact that the multiplayer is here's the thing. Like I feel like if they the multiplayer was so good, and I feel like if they divert the ship to try to bring Halo to a completely different direction, they're going to screw up the multiplayer in the process.
Unless worrying about the multiplayer,
unless they pull.
But what do you mean worried about the multiplayer? That is literally the bulk of the game.
But they can't pull a Destiny, right? You know, for example, right? Destiny is this shared world experience, right? But they do have this PvP mode where it's like completely different from your shared world experience, where it's just PvP. They can do that with Halo easily if they wanted to, and keep that same Slayer. All right, we're just gonna go here to play Slayer. Yeah, absolutely.
I want to get some comments in that was lit. All right, Slow Mo Stay coming for you, Adam. He said, "How is an infinite series where you create your own character against the law? Have you read the books?" He said, "There's always generation of Spartans after the Master Chief generation." And then I want to shout out Drew. He's saying that you can't get away with not having the main character in. Look at what Gears did as far as not having Marcus Phoenix. So they kind of coming for you, Addict.
Yeah, Marcus Phoenix was a bystander in Gears 4.
Yeah, I would say it's possible that they could do it. What do you still feel it would be a huge mistake for
I think if they go that direction, they don't focus on the direction of the story they have now. I feel like you're gonna have mixed emotions. They're gonna have people thinking that they're pretty much declaring that the Halo brand was completely in the wrong direction. I think you're gonna have, and especially if you go that way, you're gonna completely isolate the fans that made the franchise. They're going to, because right now, well, Halo 5 right now, the bulk of the Halo community are they like the way that, the general, besides the campaign, they like the way Halo's going. If you go away from it again, you're not getting them back.
Okay, so check this out. Right? Check this. Yeah. Imagine they give you what I said and give you all that PvP and PvE stuff that you like. All right. Now imagine, just like Kid Smooth said, you know how Destiny has the two separate things. You want to go play Clash, you want to go play Trials, you want to go play this, you want to go play this. This is a separate playlist for you. If you want to go do strikes, there's a separate playlist for you.
Why are we trying to turn Halo into Destiny?
Because that's what it was originally going to be.
It was never going to be be that.
Destiny was going to be that.
Show me when they said that Halo was going to be Destiny.
You're never going to get those papers. But
so how do you know?
Listen, you're never going to get those papers. But my thing is, I don't understand why you are so resistant. If I told
because
you,
I'm
because
not
you
trying to make everything into a loot shooter.
No,
I'm not trying to make everything into a
I'm not trying to make it into a loot shooter either. I said it, open world RPG that you can play with your friends.
So that's what I said. Do these strikes, and quote, unquote, said the strikes you said. What are we supposed to do countless strikes over for?
I said, listen. Also, you have your PvP. That the only thing that you play. The only thing you play. I said, okay, I give that to you. Does that not shut you up?
Well, it's not even that.
I said it's the only thing
I
that
never.
You
hold on.
about.
Don't put words in my mouth. I've never ever said that I only play the PvP. I probably know more about the Halo lore than anyone in this.
You do, but you wasn't
so
there
don't
day
sit here
one.
and act like I don't know the story.
You can bring up points, right? You can bring up points and say, I know more about this, and I can.
But you can't sit here and devalue my opinion because I don't play the story when I know more about the lore than you do.
You know, this is true. You do know more about the Lord. You care about it more than I do. I'm easily able to let it go, but you're holding on with both hands and feet, screaming, keep me in the same failed position. It failed. So why the hell would you stay in a situation that is failing? Wouldn't you try to say, yo, listen, we got to switch this around. We must change.
Let me jump in real quick. Let me ask King this. In defense of Addict's point, the consensus with 5 was that the multiplayer was amazing, right?
Right.
But the narrative in 4 was a little shaky, right? They were all over the place. And part of it, people felt like, yo, you didn't have enough Chief in. So again, I do understand a little bit what Addict's saying. Not that I understand your point, which is, yo, we got to evolve the series, right? You're talking about let's take it to the next level. Microsoft's on some games as a service. Let's kind of do Infinite in that vein, right? Well, what about to the crowd that was really upset with 5 that were like, yo, you better have Master Chief in it, or it's going to be a problem with it. Like, do you think they have to now at least satisfy that base that felt so upset about Guardians?
You know what I think it'll be? If I
they can make him a DLC character.
If they do like how Addict said, it would be like Crackdown. It will be like Crackdown, where people are gonna say, "Listen, it didn't evolve, it didn't change."
But they did evolve Halo 5.
Okay, you know how many people hated Halo 5? I loved it. I loved the story. I loved the fun of it. I loved playing it from beginning to end, and I never went back. You did.
Not everything has to be played for 6 months at a time. Like,
when you are looking for engagement numbers,
oh my God,
they're trying to push right. I'm trying to explain to you what a company is doing, and they're showing you we are doing this. This is going to be the new thing, the engagement. That's why Apex comes out. People are playing it and they're getting in and they're getting out. But they're back to engagement. It's all about how many times you're going to go in and how many times you're going to play said game in a day. How many hours you're going to put in that game.
And it's a Game Pass game. I'll give you that. What about we meet in the middle, right? What if we do what Attic says with the narrative campaign with whatever? What if now help me on this, Inferno, and Kiss Move if you can. Didn't they introduce war zones to be this like kind of persistent thing, or correct me on am I wrong with it? Where does Warzone stand?
They supported Warzone about 3 years after the game came out.
So it's one of their top modes, or no? Like what's the metrics looking like?
Well, they don't support it anymore because it came out in 2015, but they supported it for about 3 years. There was constant updates coming to it. They did drastic, they updated the cosmetic system. They gave new bosses in the Warzone. They did plenty of stuff like that. Like no one had when it comes to Halo, no one had an issue with the multiplayer. No one had an issue with Warzone. People had issue with the story. And once that is corrected, people will be completely on it. But if you start changing the foundation Halo's built on, you might as well just go ahead and cancel the whole studio.
But here's the thing. So you think they can't afford in no capacity to say that this is a spiritual reboot, that you create your own Spartan, and that let's say
I feel like the odds of that happening is like 10%.
Okay. All right. Let me jump in. I didn't think this is going to go left like this. This is good. Yeah. This is a hot one. This is intriguing. I agree with the panel. I mean, the multiplayer 343 nailed that, right? They don't need to touch that at all. I got to agree with King a little bit. I think if a reboot is done right, and again, it's very touchy when you reboot, these iconic franchises, right? But, it could be the boost that they need to kind of get that redundant story loop and make up for, let's be honest, Halo 5.
I will say right now, if they mess up Halo, I will sell my Xbox and I'll never touch a Microsoft product.
Oh, my God.
When it comes to Microsoft, I value Halo and I value Fable over everything else. If they mess up Halo, I'm done. Right, I'm not even joking. I am done.
I feel you. All I'm going to say is this. Let's put ourselves in the time capsule. All the Lords here. Let's put out in the time capsule. Now let's remember, again, God of War. Remember the initial reactions. Oh my God, he can't jump. Remember? Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? What is this over the shoulder crap? Where is that? Like, it was a complete change, right? Like, they literally reinvented it to something else. And we do know with Infinite, there's a new graphics engine. Now, we are hearing rumors, like Kid Smooth said.
It's called the Flip Space engine.
Right. Rumors of RPG mechanics. They're talking about story choices. You know what I'm saying? That kind of got me excited. You know what I mean? So, I mean, this is definitely a chance for 343 to kind of make Halo their own. Because let's be honest, they've been really refining the Bungie thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they've been playing it safe. They've been playing it safe.
Yep. And again, I'm not saying, because what's under their resume right now? Okay, help me out with 343. All the Halos. It's been
they got Halo 4 and Halo 5.
No, they got Halo Combat Evolved, the original one. Yeah. Yes. They got Halo 2's remake.
Right.
They co-helped on Master Chief Collection. They made 4 and 5.
Okay, but do you really want to count like the remakes?
You got to count their whole resume. What you mean?
It looks it's the same thing, but it looks better. I mean, 343 has made the best performing Halos ever. Under 343, Halo has run at 60 frames per second.
Well, as far as performance and multiplayer, we got to say that Bungie still kind of got them. If you compare narratively,
narratively,
definitely.
And then 343 Halos look better,
right,
graphically.
But here's the thing, kid. And I want to bring it back because I know Attic is very passionate about it. Yeah. And King, this is a good point you guys are bringing up. Like, about this whole, like, sometimes with gamers, do you think maybe we hold on too much and it's like maybe a situation where, you know, like King is saying, like he's making some valid point in the sense that maybe they need something fresh, maybe they need something new.
I've seen too many of my beloved franchises go completely south because people want to refresh a game and they completely go away from what made the game itself.
Let me ask you guys a question though. Let me ask you guys a question. Why didn't 343 give up on the Master Chief Collection? Think about it. They know Halo Infinite is going to be so different from the original Halo series that they made it. They put in extra hours to fix Master Chief Collection so that people who want the original Halo experiences, they got this whole collection that will live. That will live for years and years to come. Those servers will never shut down. I'm telling you this right now. So
wait, hold on. So I got my tinfoil on right quick. So you're thinking their dedication to keeping Master Chief Collection alive is for the base that wants that hardcore thing to get over there in the corner, whereas they go their new direction with Infinite? Is that the possibilities here, King?
Yes. Halo Infinite would be nothing like Halo 5 and Halo 4. I won't be surprised if Halo 5 Guardians somehow find its way in the Master Chief Collection, since it's more closer to that.
This is what I'm talking about, and this is what they're gonna do. They're gonna change this Halo, right? It's gonna be exactly what I said, and Addict gonna throw his Xbox away, and they're gonna come.
I'm not joking. If they mess up Halo, I'm done.
They're gonna come out and they're gonna do the other game that he wants, Fable. Fantastic, and he's gonna go right back. And he's gonna pick his system out the bushes.
If Fable is lit, you know you better than me at it. Keep it true.
I said Halo and Fable.
Listen, if
they mess up Halo, dude, I'm not gonna be happy. Right, I'm not at all.
Bend the knee right now. In the sense of just a fun bend the knee. No, just a fun one. In the sense of Fable and Halo, your two beloved franchise, right? So let's just say it's what King says. And Halo and Halo Infinite is something completely different. No Master Chief, create your Spartan, complete different thing from the timeline, yada yada yada. But Fable is the truth. And they take it back to the essence, and it's the Fable you love with the dude.
If they take it back to the essence, it's gonna be trash. I don't want it like that. I don't want none of that British humor stuff.
All right, okay. Let's just say it's the Fable you want in every way you want it. Now, what you gonna do?
Stick his hand back in the bushes and take his system out?
You throw your Xbox in the bushes. Let's go.
Look. Clearly, I'll play Fable, but you know, it's like no, I'm not joking, you guys. Like, if they mess up Halo, like it's not going to be good. Like, I don't think that they can handle. Here's the thing. I do not. Here's the thing. I do not.
You sitting in the corner.
Here's the thing. I do not.
Kim, you gotta stop.
He gonna be mad at Halo, but he gotta play because he likes Fable.
Oh my god.
That's a wrap, son. You're done, son. You're done.
That's amazing. I'm sorry. Continue, Addict. I'm sorry. I think Addict
did. He did. He left.
It's good.
No, bring him back. Come on. He checked out. I told you, stop coming for me, Fawn, unless I send for you. That's exactly how he gonna destroy his Xbox when I beat him in that Pokemon.
Yo, they out of control. Yo, we got Addict upset, man. Hopefully he cool down. He comes back in for the day.
It's a fact though. If Fable is fantastic and Halo isn't what he wants, he can't throw it away. He gotta keep it.
Yo, we gotta move on, man. Hopefully. Lord King, you are up upsetting the panel.
Sorry, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, right.
That he was like, he out.
What? It seemed like you rage quit.
The timing of it was like you rage quit.